Hey, everybody.
Hello.
You're definitely live.
Hi. We have been told that we are live, so hopefully we are. Welcome to everyone on this final day of the celebration of gaming, Labyrinth's 10th annual celebration of gaming. And we are super honored to be joined by Jason Matthews, one of my favorite local game designers, and probably the one that I've known for the longest. I think probably you and David Chalker are the first two local game designers that I met, I think. But I really appreciate all of your support over the years, and I'm really thrilled to learn Imperial Struggle today. Just to warn anyone out in the audience, this is definitely going to be a longer, crunchier game than the others that we have played so far this week. Luckily, I have Rich here today, who is kind of known as our historical war game expert on staff. So I'm a little nervous. I love historical war games, but I do not get to play them as often. Although I have to say that we have used a lot of historical games with my son in kind of a game schooling aspect, because he hates history, but he loves games. So playing games like this is a really great way to get him involved, involved in kind of what is going on through different periods of time. And it's actually one of the reasons I wanted to learn this game so badly today, because I would love to be able to play this with him, but this is a little bit outside my complexity level of games I normally play, at least. So Jason's going to help me a whole lot today, but he's going to help both of us equally. And as we said, Jason's going to tell us a little bit about how to play. Both Rich and I have watched some videos, and he's told us a little bit about it before we started streaming. So we're probably going to get into it. We were talking about, obviously, this is a very long game. It's really funny that GMT always puts on the back of these, you know, this simple to play game. And we always laugh at that. But it is definitely simpler than some war games, but we're thinking about, if this goes too long, where are we going to shut it off? I was actually thinking, if we get to like 6 or 6:30 and we're still not even close to done, maybe at that point we'll kind of decide. But I think maybe if we get to that long, and we'll cut it off at the next kind of time era. What do you think, Jason?
I think that makes perfect sense.
Okay.
And you'll have gotten most of the way through the game, assuming
We're
you're
gonna play fast.
right.
We're
Well,
gonna play fast. Okay.
So this is part of the Celebration of Gaming board game battle, Kathleen versus staff.
This is part of the board game battle, Kathleen versus staff. We've been doing live streams every day this week.
Oh.
So I won last night in a thrilling tiebreaker with Wingspan, and yeah, so if I can win this, I tie it up, and we're thinking that I win the tie just because.
No,
that was not agreed.
No, we'll have a tiebreaker.
Okay, we're gonna come up with some kind of tiebreaker. If you have any ideas in the chat about what the tiebreaker can be, we'll see. But I have a feeling maybe
One
Rich is
round
gonna
of
be
breakdancing
anyway.
equals.
Oh God. Okay, so the first thing that we've been doing, Jason, is silly polls to teach everybody about the polls. We've got some great giveaways today, and thanks to Jason, we have some even greater giveaways. We're going to be giving away a copy of Founding Fathers, which I just found secretly, a whole bunch of copies of, and we're going to be giving away a couple copies of Twilight Struggle, the kind of spiritual antecedent to Imperial Struggle. And Jason's gonna bring us a couple copies of the Twilight Struggle expansion that he's gonna sign for somebody. And then at the end of the game, whenever we kind of cut this off, we're gonna be whoever votes for the winning party, randomly one person will be selected to win a copy of Imperial Struggle. So first, we're going to teach everybody how to do polls on Twitch. So if anybody is out there, this first poll is just for fun, and it's going to Yoni's going to put it into the chat in just a second. There it is. Okay, so the way you vote is you put exclamation point vote, and then you either put English muffin or croissant. So you can vote English muffin or croissant. Exclamation point vote English muffin croissant. And we'll see who likes the British or the French better.
For people voting English muffin, make sure there's no space between English and muffin, and you're using the singular. Also true for the person who voted croissants. Make sure you're using the singular.
Using singular, and English muffin should be all together.
Also, thank you to Loctanel and Ask Eric Store and Dutch Yoda for following us.
Dutch Yoda, I like that name. That's a nice name. Okay, so Jason, how have you been?
Good. I mean, fortunately, I'm a nerdy introvert, so it hasn't been that much of a transition.
Well, are you excited about Imperial Struggle being out? Have you gotten really good feedback? What's the news on this game?
I mean, the superb news from our vantage point is that it has been selling extremely briskly. And so if you want in on the first print run, you probably should grab a copy very soon because GMT's warehouse is running low already. And we've been getting extraordinarily good feedback. I mean, Twilight Struggle, I would say, is a kind of a Euro game with war game sensibilities. This is a war game with Euro game sensibilities. And so it is really popular amongst the kind of war game crowd who thought Twilight Struggle was too simple. And that's that's kind of, and we began designing this game like almost 15 years ago. And so it really was always aimed at that GMT core audience.
Yeah, I'm sad that Ananda couldn't join us today, but yeah, we're really happy to have you here, and it'll be great because you can give us some of the historical context. I know Rich is also a huge fan of this time in history. I am not a huge historian, so y'all can teach me a lot of stuff about this. I'm looking forward to it. Okay, do we have all of our votes in?
Yeah, 10 more seconds to vote.
10 more seconds to vote.
If you haven't voted yet.
English muffin, croissant.
It's at a tie right now, so if we get one more vote.
It's a tie right now, so if there's one more vote, we could push it over to either croissant or English muffin. Can I vote? I vote croissant.
You can vote. Really.
Okay, I don't know how to vote. Oh, here, wait, I think I know how to vote. Oops, did you turn it off? ISSA. Not sure how to spell croissant. Okay.
Oh, no, we're tied up again. All right, whatever. It's fine.
Okay, so apparently it's even 50-50 because I voted. I shouldn't have voted. English muffin would have won if I hadn't voted. But I disagree with all of you English muffin people. Although I am playing the English today. Because historically they won and I want to be on the right side of history.
That's right side of history might be a strange turn of phrase.
That is true. Maybe the English aren't on the right side of history. Maybe
Perfidious Albion.
Okay. So next we're going to do the poll of, do you think that Rich, the wargamer, is going to take this out, or do you think I can tie things up in the staff battle? So this time you're going to vote exclamation point vote, and either team staff or no, just either staff or Kathleen. Staff Kathleen. Staff Kathleen. I'm just saying all the times that Kathleen has been the majority winner, I have actually won the game. No? Oh man. Apparently I have won 3 times, right? Okay, so Jason, tell us how to play this game. Jason's going to give us kind of a big overview, and then we're going to just play and try and get through this.
Okay, so this is Imperial Struggle, and it covers the rivalry between Britain and France in what historians sometimes call the Second 100 Years' War. And it starts shortly before the War of Spanish Succession and ends with the French Revolution. It's a 10-turn game, and there are 6 what we call peace turns and 4 war turns. The wars are the actual wars that occurred, the War of Spanish Succession, the War of Austrian Succession, the 7 Years' War, and the War of American Independence. What is going on in the game is essentially 4 different area control games simultaneously. You are worried about North America, comprising parts of the American colonies and most of Canada, the Caribbean, and India. Those are the areas of colonial conflict. And then you also have to worry, of course, about what's going on in Europe, which is another arena for conflict between Britain and France in the era. While this is still a game that uses cards, unlike Twilight Struggle, the cards are not the primary driver of activity, but rather tokens. So every turn there are going to be 9 tiles that are placed out. Those tiles are what are going to determine what kind of action you're going to take that round. And the 2 players alternate choosing one tile after the other. So obviously the good ones go early. So there's both an advantage to going early and an advantage to going at the end, because you can impact something right before scoring. There, on every peace turn, there are going to be 2 types of scoring. One for control of the region, and the victory points for the regions vary every turn. So that's not static, and you have to take that into account on your strategy. Sometimes a region can be worth 0 points, but it can range from 3 to 2 to 1. And that's really, to control a region, you're just counting the number of flags you have in the area. Whoever has the most, whether that's control of fortresses, control of territory, control of markets, whoever has the most in that region is going to score those victory points. But in addition, there are markets in every region for the different kinds of commodities that were of value to the 2 powers and the reason that the countries are competing in the first place. So there's cotton, there's fish, there's tobacco, there's spices. And the different commodities are going to, 3 of them are going to be in demand every turn, and which 3 are randomized every single turn. So this is something else that you have to adapt your strategy to. You want to kind of target the market control to the commodities that are in demand for that turn. And whoever has more is going to score a combination of victory points and reduction in debt and economic benefits. In almost all senses in this game, whenever there's a tie, that means do nothing. So that is just a rule of thumb to keep in mind. If there's a tie for victory points, if there's a tie for the commodities, that means no effect. And same will be true on the war turns. Just a brief discussion of the war terms. Unlike most war games, combat is deterministic. You're going to put, you start out with kind of crappy regular troops that are deployed to each theater in the war. During your peace turn, you can get ready for the war and deploy better troops. And then we're just going to, when we get to that war turn, we're just going to compare tokens, add up the values, check the modifiers that are listed over there on the right-hand side. So it will tell you you get a benefit for controlling the Dutch this turn because the Dutch actually participated in the war. And so if you control them, that's a good thing. You'll get benefits for the forts that were actual battlegrounds during the war, that sort of thing. And add up the numbers and resolve according to the table there at the bottom of that war. So it's very straightforward. As I say, it's deterministic and is faster actually than the peace turns. And so we go through this, do it 10 times, and whoever, just like in Twilight Struggle, there's a tug of war victory chart. So if the tug of war ends closer to the 1 on the British side, then the British win, or the 30 on the French side, then the French win. It is also possible to score an automatic victory. And there are 2 ways for that to happen. 1, by losing all of the regions of a war at the utmost level, and 2, by dominating in all the commodities for 1 turn. Both of those things are very hard to do, but they do happen, and games end that way, so you have to guard against it. You can't just say, I'm not going to worry about commodities this turn, because if you do, it's likely your opponent will pull off an auto victory. And that's kind of the overview of the game.
No sweat, right?
Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll all be
Cosplay.
fine. I really appreciate all of you who have joined us and are going to attempt to watch this. I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you, Factotum42, for following us.
Yes.
We hope that you get some enjoyment out of this stream and maybe learn a little bit better about this game along with us.
Yes. Okay.
So we'll do a last chance to vote. Kathleen or staff.
Kathleen or staff, vote. It's exclamation point vote, either staff or Kathleen.
Yeah, Sandman 1137, not to call you out, but make sure you don't use the word team. So exclamation point vote, space, the word staff. Just
Staff or
make sure your
Kathleen.
vote gets counted for team staff.
No,
That's all I'm saying.
no. No, team Kathleen, team Kathleen. Okay, so before we started streaming, Jason was trying to explain to me what squadrons are. And I
So
see
squadrons
here on my board that I have squadrons. And then I also see up here in this Navy box that I have some squadrons. Am I allowed, how many squadrons are you allowed to have in the Navy box during a turn or during a phase?
So the Navy box represents your fleet in being and the main fleet of whichever power you're playing. And then you can deploy those, so it's unlimited, is a short answer to your question, but it, with the exception of the counter mix itself.
Okay.
It's very unlikely that you would have to worry about that, but if you are worried about it, it will mean you're probably winning.
Okay. That would be good. Team
Yes,
Kathleen.
which is good.
So I can deploy them from my Navy box, but I have to get them from my board here to the Navy box to be able to deploy them.
Exactly. So it costs 4 to build the unit, and then you move it. Once it's built, it moves to the Navy box, and then the Navy box, it costs 1 military operation to move something in the Navy box to a specific anchorage.
Okay. Okay, cool.
We are closing the poll.
We are closing the poll.
And Team Kathleen is the favorite to win.
Whoa, y'all
Wow.
are crazy. But I'll try. I will try. I'll try. Okay. So the first thing we do in our turns, oh, you have initiative. France has initiative, right?
That's right.
Correct. I've got
Okay.
a little initiative marker down here that will
Okay.
flip back and forth as the game goes
So
on.
in this game, what my understanding is that the player with initiative gets to choose who goes first or second.
That's
so
correct.
Who is going to go first, Sir Rich?
I think that England will go first this time.
England's going to go first.
Mhm.
Okay.
Exciting.
All right. So I need to choose 2 of these cards, right, to put face down.
Exactly.
I'm going to choose that one, my ministry cards. And I'll show people what I'm doing, but I can't
Can't show me, but
I can't show Rich. I don't want to show Rich.
here, I won't look, but I'll just sneak my little camera over here.
No, well,
Oh.
I'll do it myself in just a second.
Okay.
Okay, I think that I want to do, I think I want to do these two. Okay.
Hello, Legends DM.
Hey, Legends DM, how are you doing? Okay, and then, so I picked my 2 ministry cards. Do y'all want to see what my 2 ministry cards are without, okay, don't look.
Okay.
Okay, here's the 2 ministry cards that I chose.
Legends DM is doing good.
Oh, good. So that is one. And then here is the second one that I chose.
Good
So
choices.
yeah, is that all right?
Solid choices.
Okay. All right, those were the 2 that I chose. Now I get to choose one of these investment tiles, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Do you want to have any say about which one I choose? I think that it seems like
So the considerations are this. Normally, it looks like there are a lot of diplomatic actions available. So you probably want to focus on something that's less available that you might
right.
want
I was actually thinking about taking this one so I could build a new squadron.
that I think is excellent advice.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It's either you might want to build a fort too early on, or a squadron. Both of those are good things.
Oh, a fort might be a good idea. I can build a fort. I could build a fort down here in India. Do I want to spread out in India? I don't have much in the Caribbean. But I definitely want to hold the United States. But I was thinking about trying to get maybe some of my Navy ships out there.
I think that's a good approach. The fort in India is really good. You also have the East India Company card. You're playing, or sorry, you have a you have a ministry card that dovetails with that well. So
Right. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take that. Okay, so now what do I do first?
IT Omar Hernandez also says hello.
Hi, IT Omar Hernandez. It's
Hi.
nice to see you.
I answered in the chat, but the name of the game is Imperial Struggle.
The name of the game is Imperial Struggle. Yes. Okay, so should I flip either one of these cards up right now? I don't think I should, right?
I don't think you need to, no.
Not right yet. So I'm going to use my, do I want to, oh, I should probably show y'all what cards I have in my hand too, right? Okay, so
Rich just
don't look.
watched you.
Okay, so I have this as an event, and I would need a arrow for that, or a cross for that one. I have this one. And I have this. And I was thinking I probably want to play this one maybe next turn or something.
Yeah, if you can, yeah, that one's a good one to get out,
Yeah.
because the French can cause you trouble.
Yeah, those nasty French. Okay, so I am going to use my 4 things and I am going to build this fort. Can I do that?
Yes. And you can build it because you are connected there to your land tile on the far, well, you see it. You see the dashed line connection to one of your existing places, exactly.
Okay, so I'm going to do that. And then I have 2 points of
Diplomatic.
diplomatic.
Mhm.
What can I do with 2 points of diplomatic?
So you can place a control marker in an empty location. Probably you're going to use it in Europe.
I think so.
No, does this cost extra stuff if she's placing it in a different theater, or is that just the finance points?
That's for the finance stuff.
Got it.
Which one's Scotland and Ireland?
These two.
Those are Scotland and Ireland.
You also have to, if you take diplomatic actions in more than one region, it also costs you an additional point, but as long as you
Okay.
pick one spot.
All right,
one-
cool. So I think
region
I
or the
am
one.
going to put some thing in Scotland.
I think that is smart.
Now, does it go here?
No,
or here?
I only have 2, so it
She's
has
only
to
got
be
2, so she's going to use the 2. The green one is a prestige marker, and that one counts towards the 2 victory bonus points for controlling Scotland, or for controlling more European spaces at the end of the turn.
Okay. And then that's the end of my turn, right?
That is the end of your turn, ma'am.
Okay, cool.
See how simple that was?
I did
that-
things. It's
It was like
fine.
that wasn't any worse than a Euro turn.
Yeah, it's fine.
You
Was
could-
actually much faster than most of my wingspan turns last night.
exactly.
And then this little used investment tile goes up here in the used investment tile place, right?
Right.
Okay, so Rich, what are you doing?
Well, I think I'm gonna take maybe this this money finance tile, and I'm gonna use these points, I think, in the Americas somewhere.
Oh no,
Um,
get away from my Americas.
now, I'd like to spend them, if I could, and maybe get Niagara, because that'll cost 2 of my 4. So that'll give me that market of furs. Oh, we haven't seen what the global demand is, have we?
Oh, right. You should reveal those tokens.
Those will be important. Maybe I
Yes.
don't want furs. So cotton, furs, and tobacco are in demand.
So that's a lot of North American stuff. Cotton in India, though, mostly.
Yes. So I still feel good about going after Niagara, and that's, I think, what I'm going to do. Now, can I then daisy chain into Allegheny, or I have to do that on a different turn where I already have started with control of this one?
Yeah, you may not daisy chain that way.
Sure. Okay. So then I'll just go there, and with my other 2 finance points, I think I am going to go ahead and take on a little bit of debt to grab some cotton in West Bengal, which would cost me 2 finance points. But if I maybe take on a little bit of debt, I can spend 3 if I'm doing that correctly.
You did it exactly right.
And go on in there. And the reason I have to pay 1 more is because I just did things in 2 different theaters. So if we're
Right.
sort of spreading the tendrils of France, it's going to cost me a little extra. And then that leaves me with these 2 Diplo points to put somewhere. And I guess since Europe seems like the hotbed, I should go ahead and put my influence somewhere in Europe. And I can check over here on this little war thing to see what's going to be really important in Europe.
That is a good idea.
What is
check
really
which
important in Europe?
So it looks
European
like-
powers are going to participate.
Yeah. So I can tell in Central Europe, Austria would give bonus strength, and everybody in that little box. Bavaria. I already have Bavaria, so that's good. Maybe I can snag an alliance here with, I don't recognize this flag, the German states, Saxony.
German states.
Yeah.
Yeah, I realized that it says it underneath it.
Oh, that's helpful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very nice.
I know. I'm like, Jason, I don't know what all these flags are.
So
So if I'm
go back to the German states. I want to show you one little cool board gimmick while you're at it.
Yeah, the
Sure.
dots.
Yeah, the dots. So each one of those triangles tells you which wars they function in by virtue of the dots along the side of the diamond. So if it's active in War 1, you see a dot, 2, 3, or the 4th war. It'll show you right there on the board.
Yeah, but now that I'm looking at those, oh, maybe I want to reconsider. because if I go here, I can snag this alliance with Denmark and Norway, and then that would give me access here, right, to reduce my debt.
Exactly. So that's a really good, the Baltic trade is very, very useful for the French because they can
Okay.
get at it quickly.
But
So
you can't get it until you go into Prussia, right?
I would
Right.
need both.
Don't you need both to be able to get that thing?
Yes, that's
Okay.
why that's
Well,
why
let's-
there are two lines there.
We'll
Right.
start cooking on that.
Nope,
instead.
nope, 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 nope.
Oh, and do I already have this fur market here, which lets me place, and I can do that at any point?
Yeah, you can use up to 2 of those tiles on your turn.
Okay.
What?
The advantage tiles here that we start off with,
Uh-huh.
I could put some conflict on the board, but I'm not going to do that.
He's
Okay.
going
Also
to
have
use,
advantage
yeah.
I know. I have, okay, so my advantage tile is -1 to unflag in North America. What does that mean?
So if you want to knock the French out of a space, instead of, it costs you 1 less. So that's
How much does it cost me to knock the French out of the space normally?
so normally it would cost you 2 to knock them out of a space, but it would only cost you 1 if you use that tile. Then it costs you additional to put yourself in.
Huh.
And if his space is guarded by a fort or a fleet, then it's also +1.
Okay. All right, so now it is my turn again. I'm going to,
Hi, King Deem.
okay, I don't want to do that yet.
And also Russell Games followed.
Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you so much for the follow. Russell
Okay.
Games.
So I think that, let's see, what am I going to do now?
So which tiles are left? That's the main, you should be asking yourself, is there something else I need to accomplish other than diplomatic points, because there are plenty of them out
Right.
there.
I feel like maybe I should do some economic stuff.
I agree with you.
Yeah, okay, good. So I'm going to do 4 economic and 2 war. So I feel like I need to take over some
Cotton, fur, or fish, right? Are those the 3?
cotton, fur, or tobacco.
Tobacco, okay. So focus on those 3 where you actually can project your influence. It's great if you're projecting your influence adjacent to forts or fleets so that your places are protected from the French trying to knock you out next turn.
Okay, and I have 4. So I am wondering, I think I'm going to go over into the United States a little bit and work on some fur because he has a lot of fur. I think I want to win fur, I think. But I think that's going to be hard. Oh, well, wait, let's see if I can do this. So there's Allegheny and Cumberland right there. And both of those, oh no, they're not. They're only attached to 1 fort. So I couldn't go into both of those, right?
Right.
But I could do like Cumberland, and I can't do Albany because I don't have, but if I took 1 thing of debt, I could
Then
go
you
into
can-
Albany and Cumberland, right?
And now you can see why being a spendthrift is so tempting.
Do I want to take on a debt?
Yes.
I mean, he did 1, so you're safe doing it, because of course the French can't resist overspending on fish or
There's
whatever
not
it was.
anywhere else that I could go without doing that though, right?
Yeah, well, don't forget you can also remove his markers, so that's something else you can do with your points, and you have that special power that makes it a little.
So why don't we do that? We'll flip my East India card.
Oof. What does that
And
do?
East India Company, during the scoring phase, score 1 victory point for each of the following unexhausted advantages you control, maximum 3: textiles, silk, fruit, fur trade, and rum.
Oof.
So I don't know if I should have flipped that yet, but I'm going to.
That's fine.
And then, so then I can also, I can't play this card yet. Not that card.
Right. And you can't do it anyway because you didn't play a tile that allows you to play an event card.
Right. So I'm just gonna, in the meantime,
But
oops. Hold
you
on,
do
something-
have a superpower tile that lets you reduce the cost of flipping one of his markers in North America.
Right. Should I do that? I think, okay, for 2, I definitely want to go into Cumberland first. So that's
Okay.
2,
Right.
right? So put me in Cumberland.
Okay.
And then is there any way that I can get rid of any of his stuff?
Yes. You can get rid of his stuff wherever you like. What you can't do is place your own marker if you're not connected to it.
Is there a way to connect to something near him? There's not.
Yeah, you got to build more stuff and win a couple of wars so that you're closer.
Okay. So I'm just gonna, for right now, I'm gonna take out the one that you just put there.
Oh, how rude.
Yeah. Because that cost me 2 because it's in the same theater.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. So then I think that's it. And then I have 2 war things. Can I put out some of my navy?
Yeah, you can move your navies, and that's a good idea since you're focused on North America.
Right. So
so
I
you
could
can-
move, and it's only 1 point, right? So could I move both of them?
You sure can.
Okay, so I'm going to take over the Gulf of Maine. And then I have 1 point left. Can I go anywhere or do I have to be attached to it?
Your fleets can go wherever they like.
Okay, so then I think I'm going to take my other fleet and
I should say squadrons because
squadron, sorry.
So-
I'm gonna go up here into Cabot Strait.
Hmm.
I think.
Big moves on the Canadians.
Yeah, I don't like, I don't like all those French being up there in Canada.
Oh no.
Okay, and that was my
Very
turn.
suspicious.
Well, that puts me in a tricky spot, I think. So I've got some options over here. I think, though, I'm going to snag this because everything else is diplomacy, and I'd like to maybe respond to that aggression with these little pineapples that are actually grenades.
Right. Plus, it allows you to play an event, so that could be important depending on what your event cards look like.
It's true. We should maybe take a peek at my event cards, some of which are particularly nasty, but I don't know if I can trigger them all. This
So
one.
the ones with the little grenadier symbol in the upper left-hand corner mean it has to be linked to a token with the military symbol on it, which you've got, so that's good.
Right. So then it might actually be a perfect time to reveal one of my 2 ministry cards, if I can do that now.
Of course.
And if I reveal this one, that will give me the style requirement, which would let me play one of the events that I have in my hand. So the Court of the Sun King means that Europe is going to be worth an extra victory point for me. And I have these 3 grenade points to spend. Now, do I spend those points before I do the minor action in the event, or I do the event first?
You can do them in either order. Up to you.
Well, just because I am really excited to do it, and I don't know if it's the right tactical thing, but I'm very excited about it. I'm going to play the Great Northern War, which I think, does that exhaust my Sun King card to do that?
Does it exhaust it? Your ministry cards are permanent bonuses to your actions.
Oh, fantastic. Then I'll go ahead and shift Russia. Now, shifting in this game, if it were flagged British, then that flag would go away. But because
there's no flag, then it goes to you. Exactly.
Right.
Wait, I don't
Shifting
like
as
that.
opposed to flipping.
Russia's over there.
Oh, that's Prussia. Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go. So I've got a nice alliance here with Russia.
Yeah, no. Oh, yeah, you can put it like that.
No,
I'm
we're not
good
going to
with
do that. But of course, that's not going to matter in this first war. But it was exciting nonetheless.
They're sitting it out.
And then I'm going to go ahead and use
You've got this Sun King bonus that makes Europe worth an extra point for you. So putting stuff in Europe is a good idea for you.
Yeah. Maybe even I could put one of my squadrons in Europe.
Are there
And maybe the Bay of Biscay or Biscay.
Yes, that totally fitting since those are kind of French home waters.
Yeah. So we'll snag Biscay, and that's going to cost me 1 point to do.
1 point. You still have 2. You could add a military. You could put a better token down in one of the war zones for the War of Spanish Succession with 2 military points.
And there's just a dizzying amount to choose from here. So I'm gonna, in the interest of being speedy, I'm gonna look at 3 and pick which one I think looks the spiffiest.
That's amazingly efficient of you,
Well,
Rich.
I figure we'll give you a handicap. Now there's a symbol here
I won't look.
that I don't understand entirely. And
Oh, that means your opponent, something
I
bad
see.
will happen.
I understand. Okay, so then I can put that in any of these and it will replace one of my regular ones, or it will be there additionally.
Yeah, in this case, it is additional.
Oh,
The military symbol thing replaces. In this case, you're buying though.
got it. So we'll just put that in there with Queen Anne's War in North America. Although, wait, no, that's not at all what we were saying. We should go to Europe. Let's go here. Yeah.
I don't like that at all.
So we'll put some reinforcements in Spain. And I believe that just leaves me with 2 little finance points for my minor action, which I could then spend to unflag this Cumberland here.
Yeah,
Oh no,
Yeah.
don't do that.
Well, 2 can
because
play
it's
that
not.
game.
If it were protected by a fort, you couldn't. But
It
it
is
Oh, it is
protected by a fort.
Well, this is a.
Oh,
no.
that's not. Oh,
It's not a fort.
Yeah.
That's just
oh
your
man.
regular old farmers.
Yeah. To clarify, the squares are territories, but the hexagons are forts.
Right.
And,
Fleets.
fleets.
Right. Anything that's a hexagon is military, anything that's circle is economic, and anything that's square is just plain old land.
Great. So now where does this lovely event, the Great Northern War, go? That goes off into the discarded.
Yeah, gone but not forgotten.
Right. Well, France feels very nicely.
I don't know that I like France all that much right now.
And this is also going to the used investment space.
Okay. Shouldn't there be another one? Oh yeah, it's over there.
Mhm.
The one that you have up there should be in
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Okay, so we have 2 more turns in this round, right?
Yes, and look at how fast you've moved. Pretty good.
So fast.
Solid.
Okay, I have a question. What does this little arrow thing on the bottom of that mean?
Okay, so those 2 symbols, the first one means that you can play an event.
Mm-hmm.
The second one means you get to swap a crappy military unit for hopefully a better military unit. That's why it's a circle means you swap it, and if you just spent military points, it would mean you added it.
Okay. All right, let's see then. I think I'm gonna do this one.
It's good.
And I feel like
Now
I should, huh?
there are, so Europe, you can never go wrong by spending diplomatic points in Europe, but there are diplomatic spaces in other parts of the board that mostly represent local allies.
Right.
Oh, like the Maratha Confederacy.
Can I use, close your eyes. Can I use these points to make this bonus thing happen and then play this card?
Yes. Hold on, let me get my card myself.
I don't know what prestige points mean exactly.
Okay, Empire. Okay, you have so in order for it to qualify, in order for you to use the bonus, you have to have that qualification, which is in this case, do you have more of the green spaces? Those are prestige.
Right, but I'm about to put something right in one of those green spaces, right?
Exactly. So once you do that, he's got no prestige spaces. So all you have to do is cover up one, and then you can, then you will qualify. Except I'm lying, because when you play an event, the event has to happen first.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That was my question, was do I have to do it? So
You can play the minor or major in any order, but when you play an event, the event occurs first.
okay. Well, I feel like maybe I should still do that though. I'm
Well, set
gonna
it up.
put this, use this 3. Can I go in Ireland or should I go into Scotland? Can I go next to him in Ireland?
You absolutely can go anywhere you like in Europe.
I'm gonna go next to you in Ireland.
I don't like that.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
It's all fine.
Well, here we go.
We're gonna be friends in Ireland. We're gonna hang out in Ireland. Okay, and then
Take that, Catholics.
Yeah, this is evocative of many historical tragedies.
and then I'm going to, so I could play either one of these cards, but I wouldn't get this one, right? I mean, I wouldn't get the bonus.
I'm not sure. I can't see which cards you're talking about.
Okay, hold on. What about this one?
Okay, so do you neither of your two things get you the best part? The bonus word is style. So if you need one of your ministry cards to have that same keyword, but you can get the regular impact without the bonus.
I think I want to play this card without the bonus.
Okay.
So unified parliament reduces Scottish intrigue in Europe. I get 1 diplomacy for unflagging in Europe only. And Habsburgs are isolated, so I get 2 diplomacy, right?
Yes,
So that gives me another 3 diplomacy in Europe.
that's correct.
Okay, so then I believe that I want to go. How many does it take for me to get him out of a space in Europe?
It's basically going to it's going to cost a total of 4 normally.
4. Okay, so then I should just play somewhere.
Right.
I think I would like to play in Prussia. Hey, give me a flag.
Sorry.
Mhm.
Just trying to think ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna play there for my extra 3 points.
Good call.
Okay,
Oof.
then that's that. And now I have 2 military. And can I change out one of my things on this war?
In this case, it won't be a change out, it'll be an addition, but yes.
Okay, so then I take one of my bonus tiles or one of my regular tiles? One of my bonus tiles,
One
right?
of your bonus tiles.
Okay, and I will do the same as Rich. I'll take 3 and try and decide.
Well,
That one?
Well, to be clear, I think I let Rich do something wrong. You choose one token. You don't get to examine all of your tokens.
Oh, you get a random one.
You get a
Oh,
random
you just
one.
get a random one?
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry,
okay.
And you choose where it applies.
Okay, that's fine. I'll do it fair.
For what it's worth, I drew, I think, 3 of the same.
Okay, so this is what I got.
I mean, the nice thing is you get a giant asterisk on this game now.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know what any of this means.
Well, I do.
Okay, good.
And it's a good thing because first of all, you see what the value is, but it also has some negative impacts for your opponent there at the bottom.
Okay, so I feel like maybe I should put this in.
Go find one of your crappiest token and add it to that.
Okay. I think I'm gonna add it here. Okay, I'm done.
Et voila.
All right. I have to say, this does feel really evocative. It makes me wonder how you all decided which events to include and which ones not to, and what sort of reading you all did.
I did a lot of reading actually, but my absolute favorite book on this subject area was called Best of Enemies. And it's a little bit of a gimmick history because it was written by a married couple, and the wife is a French-born English historian, and the husband is an English-born French historian. And they, wrote this kind of clever book that compares and contrasts English, or the whole length of the Anglo-French relationship. And I thought that was really quite a useful read for the subject area.
Sounds really
There's still some things, it's such a long time in history. There's still some things that we're talking about adding. And to be perfectly honest, I think we want to do a little more to highlight the agency of Native peoples in this, because it is a game about colonialism. We deal straight up with colonialism in the sense that, there are events that that have impacts from slavery. We talk about slavery at great length in the player aid because it is part of the colonial development, particularly in the Caribbean and the southern colonies. But
Corey Aggie asks what the name of the book was one more time.
the name of the book was Best of Enemies.
Best of Enemies. So that goes on the reading list for anyone playing this game.
Okay, so what are you gonna do?
So I have this tile here, which I believe lets me play an event. And can I use the ministry card that I used before to qualify for another event?
Absolutely, and that's in the perfect world, that's what you would always do. You would try and have your ministry cards complement the event cards such that you can make good combinations.
Sure. Well, it looks like a perfect world to me because that scholarship is going to let tropical diseases run through the Caribbean, which is very sad. But it does mean that I'm going to remove one enemy flag and then one friendly flag from markets in the Caribbean. So I'm going to take away this tobacco from the British.
What?
Because Georgia is in the Caribbean in this game. And then I'm also going to, I think I'll have to lose this instead of this one down here. So I'll lose that from the French because that resource is not in demand this turn. But because I get the bonus, I'm going to remove an additional enemy flag. So we'll also just get rid of this too, because that was bothering me. And then I'll go on and spend my points. So my diplomacy points, I've got 2 of them. And can I take on debt as wild points for diplomacy actions, or I'm just
You absolutely can. You can go crazy with the debt. Keep in mind, there are events that will smack you if you have more debt than your opponent.
I'm sure that won't be a problem for the French. So I think I might take on a little bit of debt in order to shore up some alliances. And I'll go ahead and maybe snag this spot in Scotland. So
And
that's
I'll
going to
move your
cost
debt
me
up.
1 more debt, but it's not the end of the world. Now, when am I
At least you
allowed to
didn't-
reveal ministry cards?
I'm
Anytime.
sorry?
When am I can I reveal a ministry card?
You reveal them when you use them.
Okay. Interesting. So, and a peace turn is defined as once we go through all the rounds. There's a very specific card I'm thinking of here that I'd like to use. But I don't know if that's going to go into effect right when I flip it or if I'll have to wait for a bit. And I think it looks like I'll have to wait for a bit. So I'm just going to use my army points, my grenade points, to grab another bonus war tile at random. And I get to see what it is before I place it, which will be this one. And we're going to just go ahead and slide that in. How about here over in Queen Anne's War?
I don't like that.
So yeah, that I believe is my whole turn.
Don't you get to replace something? He said that the circular thing.
If you have that little revolving circle, that means you can draw at random another common soldier tile and replace, hopefully it's a better one and you replace a crappy one.
Oh, interesting. Well, I'll go ahead and do that.
So you get a regular common one, not a fancy one, right?
Yeah, we got that
Right.
regular common one, which seems pretty nice. I think we're gonna go ahead and replace this one. And that one's gonna go away. Now,
Huh.
does this go back to my pool or does it get
No, it's
discarded?
out.
It's gone?
It's for now, it's out.
Great. And that wraps me up.
Okay. All right. I think that I'm going to reveal this card too.
All right.
So
So
this
that'll
one,
just mean that they are locked in for the duration of this era.
right, okay, that's fine. And then I am going to, I believe I'm going to take this one here, which gives me 4 diplomacy and 2 money. And I think I want to shore up my, I either want to go North America and shore up my interests, or I want to go into the Caribbean. I'm a little bit worried because he just took a lot of my stuff out of the Caribbean.
He surely did, but the commodities that are in demand, I mean, sugar is not among them, so
No, but tobacco is,
right. So I would
and I
focus
don't
on
have
spaces
any
with
tobacco right now.
Yeah, so you're basically, he's going to win that as it stands, I assume.
Well, I don't think he has any tobacco. Yeah, I think if I go into tobacco, I think I win it.
Well, that's an argument for doing it all by itself.
Yeah, I think, unless I'm missing something. Am I missing something? There's no more money. So I kind of like that idea. Okay, so with my diplomacy, what can I do in the Caribbean?
Well, not a whole heck of a lot except the pirates.
Right. I could also do the Buccaneers and the privateers, right?
Right. That's what I mean.
Yeah. So I could do both of those, and those would give me some extra things.
They do. They actually they give you some extra stuff. You're going to have control in. It helps you with control of that region, but it also helps you release those conflict markers, which you're then going to go put on his colonies and cause trouble with your privateers and your buccaneers.
Both of those say in an unprotected market. So does that mean I have to put the conflict thing on an unprotected market?
Exactly. So you can't put it next to his forts and fleets. Your pirates are afraid of forts and fleets, but everything else they're happy to go nab.
Okay. All right. So let's see. So I am going to put my 2 things on there.
Sure. So we're grabbing the Buccaneers and the privateers.
Yes, because I have 4. And then
very underhanded and dishonorable of the British.
And then do I want to place those markers now? Am I supposed to do it now?
No, you can't place them on the turn that you acquire them, so it'll have to wait.
Okay, cool. Then I have 2 money things. So where can I go? Can I go into any of these that say 2?
Yeah.
That I'm attached to?
Yeah.
Okay, which I guess has to be this one. Cayman Passage.
Mm.
And that costs me 2, right?
There you go.
Which is all of the things that I done. Yep, I think that's it, right?
That was it.
That is it.
All right, that makes my last choice quite easy because I can only grab one of the same thing.
Right.
And I'll go ahead and start using my diplomacy points to do things. Especially in Europe here, I think we want to grab some friends in the Dutch Republic.
The wily Dutch.
Yeah. They're going to be playing both sides of this conflict.
As always.
And I might, where else could I use some friends? That's what I need to ask
How many
myself.
friends were, how many friends did it cost you there?
That cost me 2.
So you can go somewhere else too?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not to help you, but if you go into Prussia there, don't you get that reduced debt thing?
I do, but it doesn't count towards the war score of this era, I believe, or this next war, because of the pips.
Right.
There's pips for the second war of succession.
I know, but you could go there.
I guess it would reduce my debt, which would be nice.
It's fine. You don't need to win this war.
However, thank you, Kathleen, for reminding me about reducing my debt, because I have a card here that I'd like to flip up, which is John Law, my finance minister, which at the end of the peace turn is going to reduce my debt by 1 or 2 if I control any spaces in Scotland, which right now I do.
Huh.
So I don't worry too much about the debt. I worry more about all of just everything all over this board. There's so many choices to make. It's really dizzying. I think I'll grab, now this shows the cost to sneak in.
Yeah.
Does it also relate to how powerful it is in the war?
I do think that those things correlate to a degree, at least. Like for instance, you'll notice that 3 participates quite a bit, although that's also a function of history and a function of how much power does that particular state bring to a war. Denmark might be in a bunch of the wars, but it's not as powerful as the Netherlands or Spain.
Well, perhaps then I might as well grab either Sardinia or Savoy while they're relevant, because they're going to not matter later on.
Right,
much.
the Italians get less and less powerful.
So then I'll go ahead and grab Sardinia, which might be a worse investment over time, but we'll see.
Well, Napoleon will show up eventually.
That's true. Yeah, he's
or
right.
It's Corsica, actually.
Yeah,
but,
he's right there right now, I think.
Yeah, right.
Napoleon can just stay down there. It's fine. We don't need any Napoleon.
So those are my four treaty points, and then I'm going to use my grenade points. I've got 2 of those to spend. And
I think I might be wiped out in this war. I'm a little bit worried.
gosh, I could just take another bonus war tile. I wonder if I'm going too heavy on that, and maybe that'll bite me. I could also remove a conflict marker, but there's none of those.
He hasn't played those yet. That'll come next turn, probably.
Yeah. Oh, those fleets are really, or the squadrons they cost 4 to build.
Yeah, they're very
I have
hard.
to take on a
So,
little debt to snag those.
right. You could do that, especially since you've got your debt reduction thing.
Yeah, maybe I do go ahead and do that. Yeah, we're gonna take on 2 debt, so we're dangerously close to the debt limit. But
I
that's,
can't wait to destroy you with debt.
the peasants have lots of money, and they'll help me out. So yeah, I'll do that, and I'll grab a little squadron and put it in my navy box, I guess is where it's gonna go for now. And that does me. That's my turn. Maybe not the most decisive last round there, but
the last round anyway.
yeah.
Okay, so now what do we do?
So that was the end of round 1, or turn 1 rather. And we are on to turn 2.
Yeah.
Oh, so we don't we have a war?
There is the War of Spanish Succession.
You have to deal with the War of Spanish Succession is the first thing that's going to happen.
Oh, okay. So what do we do?
Okay, so you go to the war board and you resolve them in that order. You go left
So
to right,
Central
top to
Europe.
bottom.
So we flip these now.
Flip those now. So you can start with the numerical reality of those counters.
Sure. So it's 3 to 1 so far.
3 to 1, and then you go over to the modifiers on the right-hand side of the war board, and
Austria.
you add those up.
So Austria is even right now.
So that's nothing.
Nothing.
Bavaria,
Bavaria is French, so that's
1. So
one,
that's
4 to
4-1. Denmark, Norway,
Denmark, Norway. Yep. So that's 5-1.
5-1. Dutch Republic.
That's even, so still 5-1.
Okay, German states,
German states are British, so 5-2.
5-2, and Savoy, nothing.
Savoy, nothing.
So it's 5-2. So Rich wins Central Europe.
Right, and the margin of victory there is a margin of 3 to 4. Right.
Okay,
So I'm going to get 2 victory points and 1 CP, and you're going to get 2 treaties points. So the 2 victory points here it's like a tug of war. I
Right.
really want them to go all the way up to 30. So we're just going to slide that 2 there towards 30. If it gets to 30, I win, and that would be really good.
What are treaty points?
Treaty points work just like debt, except for there's no negative consequence.
Okay.
So let's grab your treaty
Here,
points.
I can look while you're doing the rest of it.
And then the CP, how are those represented?
So those are points that you can use to basically unflag unflag your opponent's spaces in the region where that war occurred.
Oh, interesting.
What do treaty points look like?
They don't look like anything. There's just a marker, and it goes on the track just like debt.
Okay, I'm looking.
Presumably there's a blue marker and a red marker.
So let's see. I think then
Oh,
I get to
treaty
unflag
points.
one of these things in the European region.
Okay.
And that happens right now, yeah?
So like that, show him. So I get 2 treaty points, so I just put it like that?
Yep.
Okay,
All right.
there's your treaty points if you ever need them.
Oh,
Okay.
well, hopefully I'll never lose a war, so I won't need them.
Oh, God.
Now you won that theater by the maximum value, and if you win every theater by the maximum value, you will win the game automatically.
Oh my goodness. Did I win by the maximum value? I thought that if it's 5-2, is that a margin of 3?
Oh,
Or
I'm
is it-
sorry. You had to, I'm sorry. You were in the. I thought you. No, my
I'm
mistake.
happy to take the maximum.
No. Okay, so now we go to Spain.
But first I have to unflag one of your things. So I'm going
Why
to
do you
take
have to unflag one of my things?
from my conquest point.
Oh, God.
So the Austrians don't like you anymore, I think is what that means.
Yeah.
Oh,
No one likes a loser, Kathleen. Particularly not
man.
Austria.
okay.
The other thing that did the tokens themselves have symbols on them? The combat tokens.
Oh, they did indeed. They have down here, we've got a X or slash a, what is this?
Okay, that means that she can, the owner of that French token, I guess, can either damage a fort in the region, which I don't think the British have the one that they could build,
Right.
or they can remove another economic marker, except for there is no economic markers in Europe.
Okay. So perhaps not the best placement of that tile, but this is learning.
Yes, quite.
Okay.
And did the British token have anything? No, I guess not.
Just a little sad red coat.
So since we're finished with our first war, should we do a giveaway?
That seems like a great.
Well, we're not. This is all of the war.
Oh, we're still doing the war?
Yeah, we
Oh,
have
okay.
4 things in the war. We could do it after the war.
Sure.
Okay, we'll finish this war and then we'll do a giveaway.
Good
All
idea.
right, so that
Okay.
brings us to Spain,
Spain.
which is really what this is all about, I guess. This
Yes.
War of Spanish Succession. So that's +2 and +1.
And I have
another
a +2.
So right now it's 3-2.
Okay,
And now we've got to look at, let's see, the map,
governance.
governance. What does anybody have the keyword governance? Is that what that means?
Right. If you're good governance, then you get a bonus point, as one of your ministry cards has to have the keyword governance on it.
Well, it looks like that doesn't, neither of us are especially good at governance at the moment.
That seems historical.
And then Sardinia,
Sardinia,
which is going to give me
1.
1.
So that's 4-2. Okay, and then Spain.
Spain, another 1 for France.
Oh God, France is killing me. Okay, and then squadrons.
Squadrons, there is a squadron there too. So it's 5-2. Or no, sorry, it's 6-2. Because 1, 2, 3.
Plus
and
3.
Plus 3 is 6 to your 2.
Ugh, ugh.
Which means I've won by a margin of 4, which is the maximum. So you're going to get another 2 treaties points.
Yep.
And I am going to get
1 victory point.
and
You get to remove 2 of my things.
yes. Now,
We
I
already-
also have,
No, I already did one.
Oh, you already
victory
did
point.
one?
Yeah.
but because I have the Court of the Sun King out, the award for Europe is worth 1 extra VP for me. Now, is that
Yeah,
true of each of those conflicts?
Oh, good Lord. I don't know how I let you do this. Before we went into the victory point phase, we should have done the scores for the board at the end of the round and the commodities.
Oh my goodness. All right. So we've skipped
Okay.
ahead a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, we skipped ahead, but that's all right. We can recreate that. I don't think we moved too many markers, right? You took a few out.
He took one from Austria.
All right.
And
What else? Is that it?
that I believe was it.
Okay.
What did
Yeah,
you
he took.
what did you remove with the in the first theater?
The
He took
Austrian.
away my Austria thing. So give me my Austria thing back. We'll just put it kind of sideways. We'll do it like that. Okay. So then what do we do?
Okay, so there should be a black victory point token assigned to each of the regions from setup. Did that happen?
A black victory. Yes.
Okay,
Here.
right. Okay, so
Okay.
it really should have been flipped over at the start of the turn. So the first one is revealed, so you know how much each of the regions is worth.
Oh no. Okay.
And then this, okay,
There should be one down there. Yeah, here. Okay.
All right.
So Europe is worth 0 victory points.
except
Plus
for it's going to
one.
be worth 1 because of his Sun King thing. But
Okay.
starting in North America, what's the damage? Who's got more markers?
It looks to me like the
Me.
British. Yeah, with their
1, 2,
squadrons.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, it's 6-4.
6 to 4.
So Kathleen gets all those points.
That's not great.
How many points?
2. So
2.
we'll slide those there.
Okay.
Now the Caribbean.
Caribbean is worth 1 victory point.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6-4 again.
So I get another point.
She's not very good at war, but she knows how to score on land. Something.
I got too excited there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. And then in India, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So
So we're
nobody
tied.
gets
So
it.
nobody gets anything. And then in
And
Europe,
Europe-
you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you get Europe, which
Okay.
is 1. So
which
I'm
is
gonna
1
go
because
that
of the
one.
Sun King.
And I'll get rid of this again because of that war. So that I think puts us back on track, right? But
Except for
No, we have to do
no,
the-
we're going to do the commodities too.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so cotton,
Cotton.
you have 2 and I have 1. No, you have 3 and I have 1, unless there's cotton somewhere else.
Looking at India, that's how it is. And then, yep, I think that's what it is. 3-1, France.
So France gets the cotton for the succession era bonus.
Which is
It's
Which
up
is going
there on
to
that.
be 2 victory points and 1 treaty point.
1, 2, and then you have 1 treaty point. Okay.
Look, you got a treaty point. You didn't have to lose a war.
Yay!
Yeah. Okay. And then fur. I think France wins fur.
France does have lots of fur.
I don't think I have. I
you
have
have
1
one
fur.
fur.
And you have 2 furs. No, you have 1 fur.
Oh, because you got rid of my Niagara.
Yeah.
I think that we are even in fur.
We're tied for fur, so nobody wins fur.
Correct.
Who wins fur?
Okay, and then tobacco. I believe I win tobacco.
I think you do win tobacco, much to my
Okay.
chagrin.
So what do I get for tobacco?
Tobacco is going to give you 3 victory points and 1 capital D, which is +1 debt limit threshold, I believe.
Yeah, no, not threshold. She actually increases her debt because tobacco is a cash intensive crop.
Oh,
Oh, so
that's
I
better.
move my debt up,
Yeah,
but I got 3 victory points for it.
exactly.
Okay.
okay.
All right. So I think that was all of the scoring at the end of that round.
Exactly. So
And
now
then
we can
now he won the Spanish theater in the War of Succession. So he gets a victory point, which I believe we already did. Or no, maybe I put it back. No, we did not take the victory points back. So you already got that, but you get 2 CP.
So I get to remove 2 things.
Yeah, and I
Well-
already did my 2 treaty points, I think. No, I
And
didn't.
you already got rid of the Austrian thing from the previous.
Correct. So I guess I'll get rid of, and it's anywhere in Europe. It doesn't have to be the things that were bonus strength.
Right.
So then,
It has to be in the. Right.
let's go ahead and get rid of Saxony and say that they don't like you very much either.
But the Saxony people do like me. They like me so much.
Let's also say that the Dutch are none too fond of you.
Oh man. Why
All
these
that hard
people
work.
in Europe hate me so much?
They just see which way the wind is blowing.
Huh.
I think it's because you pulled out of the E EU.
Obviously. Okay, so that was that thing. And then we're doing Queen Anne's War. Okay, let's see.
Uh-oh. I don't like all those symbols on there.
Okay. So
right. What's the total?
I have 2 and some symbols, and you have 2
Indeed.
and a D. What does the D mean?
That means that you are going to take another debt.
Wait, I'm going to take another
Yeah,
bet?
because you
No,
played
no,
the
no.
D.
The British are going to take a debt.
Why do I have to take a debt?
Because wars are expensive, Kathleen.
Okay. And then what do those bottom things of mine, do I have to take a debt if he doesn't win?
Yeah, you're just taking a debt for fighting.
Oh, okay. And then what do the X and the little thing mean? Does he have to do that since
That
I
means
just have him
you
on there?
get to, you are going to get to unflag, or you can wound one of his forts or unflag an economic marker in the region.
In which region?
North America.
North
But does
America.
that happen before or after we see who wins?
I don't actually know that it matters
Okay.
because it's going to happen,
Sure.
win or lose.
Right. So the strength there is going to be between forts, squadrons, and conflict markers.
So I want to get rid of your fort. Do you have a fort?
I don't have a fort because we French are peaceful.
Okay. So
That
if
must be-
I can't get rid of a fort, I can take away one of the markets.
Yes.
Okay, so I want to get rid of one of your markets, I guess. And I guess that's the only
That's the
one.
only
So
one.
let's get rid of that.
That's not great.
Okay. And then we count up points. So conflict markers, there aren't any. Forts, neither one of us have any.
But you've got 2
But
squadrons.
I have 2 squadrons, so I win North America,
So you win by
2.
2.
right? Yeah.
Which means you're going to get
I get a victory point and you get a
nothing.
you get a
No.
you don't get anything.
Yeah, just a firm good day.
Good day, sir.
You get
Okay.
nothing. You lose.
All right, and now we're at the Jacobite Rebellion.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna flip that over, and you have 2, and I have 2.
Ooh.
Okay, so then we get style, and I think you have 1 style card, right?
Of course, the French have style.
I do have style, yes, but I believe you had style too, didn't you?
I don't have style. I have finance and mercantilism.
Okay, so I get 1 from my style.
Okay, so that's 3,
3 to
2.
2.
And then the Dutch Republic.
Dutch Republic, they don't like the English anymore, so
Ugh,
that's
so
1 for
that's
France.
4-2.
Yeah.
Ireland, we both are
Even.
in. Scotland, we're both in, and no conflict markers. So the French win the Jacobite Rebellion. That stinks.
Only by a
Um,
margin of 1, so that's just going to tick right back to the dead center, and we're back where we started at 15 victory points.
But you have a lot of debt, and I have a little debt, and I have a whole bunch of treaty points.
Yeah, and I'm in trouble up here in North America. I'm not feeling so great.
Yeah, you are in trouble in North America.
I'm in
That is
trouble in Europe, though.
true. That is also true.
Yeah,
And that's about
I'm in
right.
big trouble in Europe.
So
Okay.
we've resolved the wars, which I think
So
means
we
it's
should
time
give,
for
we
a
need
giveaway.
one of the things to give away. I didn't bring them in here.
Where did you put them?
I didn't ever bring them. I took beautiful pictures online though.
Uh-huh.
Okay, should I go get one?
I'll find one. What is one?
Huh?
What is one of them?
Twilight Struggle? Or
Right, I can
for
do that.
we could give away the founding fathers first.
Sure.
We'll give away a founding fathers
I'll be
first.
right back.
Okay.
Bueno.
Oh look, we have a founding fathers. It's like
Ta-da!
You're watching the
it's
stream
like
right
they're watching and they know things. Dun-dun-dun. I am incredibly thrilled that apparently Ultra Pro was cleaning out their warehouse and found some copies of Founding Fathers, which has been missing for a really, really long time. And I am really thrilled that they let me know that they had it because I then bought all of it. So
That
I
is
now
awesome.
have most of the Founding Fathers left in the world. This is a game that was designed by Jason and Christian. Leonard, how do you say is Leonard, right?
You got it exactly right.
Yeah. And I love this game. You basically rewrite the US Constitution and it has tons of historical great stuff and you get to play the Founding Fathers and I really enjoy it. So we're going to give one away today just to be nice to all of our audience. So Yoni is going to post a question in the chat and whoever correctly answers the question first wins the game. And Jason's supposedly bringing me some stuff. So if you want this signed by him, he can probably come do that sometime this week.
I also bought games at the from the sale, so I have to come in anyway.
Yeah, I saw that you had some games. Thank you very much for your support, sir. We appreciate you.
All right. So question going in the
Okay,
chat.
the question is going in the chat now. You want to read it?
Sure. The French monarch for much of the game is Louis XVI. What is his famous nickname? And it looks like
Sunny
Sunny Gem 91 was in there real quick with the Sun King, which is the correct answer. So Yoni's going to contact you, Sunny Gem, to get your contact information so we can make sure that we get your copy of Founding Fathers to you.
Yes.
We've got it already.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
great.
think we already have Sunny Jim's contact information. So we will contact you. We'll see when Jason can come by sometime this week if you want it signed and we'll let you know.
Sunny Jim has a cat named after the Sun King.
A cat
Oh,
named Louis.
that's awesome. Wow,
Fantastic.
that's some real dedication. Okay, so that is our first giveaway. Yay. And
I have trivia for that game. My one successful contribution, and DC residents might recognize this. My one successful contribution to board game graphic art is that picture of James Madison. There is the statue that's in the Madison building in the Library of Congress, and I took it.
wow, nice.
So you've got a cover artist credit.
Exactly.
Excellent. My favorite story ever of this was when we first opened and you came and I played this with customers and we ran 4 tables of it. And at some point in the game, I played George Washington and it was such a jerk move. Whatever I did was just really jerky. And I was so upset because I thought that afterwards I thought it through and I'm like, oh my gosh, we're a new store. And I was just really, really obnoxious to a bunch of our customers. And you said, well, George Washington was kind of a jerk at the Constitutional Convention. And I'm like, oh, well, that makes me feel a little bit better, I think. But yeah, it was pretty sad. Okay, so we're going into
The
turn 2.
turn 2.
And we have
might as
things
well-
that happen, I
Yeah.
think.
So all of your bonus tiles from the War of Spanish Succession, I believe, are no longer relevant. We're going to replace those with the War of Austrian Succession, which is going to be on deck after 2 more peace turns.
Exactly. So
Okay,
this
so all of these go away?
All those go away.
Okay.
and this is the
Here.
one weird
Well, the regular
turn where
basic
you
ones
have
go back.
2 peace turns in a row rather than war, peace, or peace, war rather. And so you need to, you're going to reset the new or the next war board with your standard tokens again at random.
And all the tokens that we used last time that are standard come back and get shuffled in for random distribution.
Exactly.
Okay, so I put your fancy ones in there.
Mhm.
Do we get any more new fancy ones or just what we had?
I get some, but you don't.
Really?
No, you get some too. It's the WAS ones are the ones that you're going to get, the War of Austrian Succession. So you had WSS, and now you want WAS.
Oh my God. And I have to get rid of all these WSS ones?
Yes.
Okay.
Although
Where
to
is
be,
the next war?
It's not going to be for another 2 turns.
Oh, okay, so we're not gonna put it out yet?
We should probably put it out. It's going to be down here. It's this board.
Okay.
I will let you in on a secret. It's not a secret because it's in the rules, but the bonus counter mix is exactly the same. The only thing that changes is the name so that it's historical. So if you want to keep using the same set of bonus tiles, it's perfectly fine.
Oh, well, that solves. Did you hear that, Kathleen?
No.
You can use the same ones, and it won't matter.
Okay, do I get the ones that I just put back?
Yes, you should have the full mix
So
all
just
over
one
again.
full set.
Okay, well, I just put them in that token tray.
There you go.
And I put yours in there too. Yeah, there's yours.
Well, I put my next set out, so I'm good.
Oh, okay. Then that's for mine. Okay.
This is quality content for all of our
Yes.
viewers.
Woo!
This is what we come here to see is the
The nitty
reality,
gritty.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
Should
So
shuffle.
now my 2 ministry cards stay out then.
because we're still in the succession era.
Still in the succession era. So
those are
we'll have some more things to do when we move up to the into the Empire era.
Yeah.
We're gonna screw around with your dead limit, and we're gonna do a little more deck shuffling to add in the new cards. But for the time being, we're working with the same stuff.
Okay, so for now we should put out our base war tiles, right?
Exactly.
Okay. I'm gonna
We're just going to be random 4.
Okay, there's my random 4.
My random 4 as well.
Okay. Wow, I didn't do very well in the wars. I need to, all right.
I don't know. You're really well situated in North America. It's got me very afraid.
Yeah, but I'm really not well situated in Europe. I'm in trouble in Europe. Okay.
Europe doesn't
Right.
matter, right?
It seems like my home turf should matter. I don't know. Does it matter?
I mean, the reason it matters is because they help a lot with the wars. That's where all your allies are, except for
Right.
you get some Native Americans and some Indians from time to time, but
Well, they probably don't like me very much.
right.
Okay, so then we have to, do we take all of these investment tiles that we already used and reshuffle those?
You do not reshuffle those. You use the remaining tiles. So that is something that you should keep in mind. You saw a lot of the diplomatic tiles, the good diplomatic tiles come out last turn. So diplomatic actions are going to be harder to come by most likely in future turns.
Ooh,
Which is going to be problematic for my European
I really like that.
issues.
Right. So in order to fix Europe, you need to think about event cards and what you might be able to do in other ways.
And as Jason just said, it is looking like we don't have very much diplomacy here. Oh, there's a
Okay,
diplomacy.
so the next thing is-
Okay. I'll show everybody what's out in just 1 second.
And in the meantime, I'll shuffle the event deck to give us new events.
Do we
You
get
need
new
new
events or
events?
just, how many new events do we get?
You get 3 cards and you discard down to 3.
Okay.
So if you've got stuff left over that you didn't play, you can toss it or keep it.
So 1 for you, 1 for me, 1 for you, 1 for me, 1 for you, and 1 for me.
Okay, so these are the actions that are out this turn. Not very much diplomacy like we just talked about. So, and then we now have the war out, and we have random, not very good tokens there. Our score track is like this. France has a lot of debt. England has a little bit of debt. France has 1 treaty point. England has 6 treaty points, and the victory points are right where we started.
Did we remember to reduce my debt?
No, we haven't done any of that either because I have something too.
Oh, sure.
Why is there a thing in Navy? Why is there a French thing in the Navy box?
Because I built a squadron.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Because you have too many squadrons.
No, I need more squadrons. Okay. All right, so that's kind of where we are now. So now we're going to start the round, and he has something that he does, but I also have something. At the start of a turn, I get to increase my debt limit by 1.
There
So
you go.
that means I move my debt limit up to 7. And then what do you get to do?
At the end of each peace turn, so this would have happened at the end of before the war, I would have reduced my
Right.
debt to 2,
By 2?
because I have people in Scotland.
Oh, man. Okay.
And John Law, who I'm curious to read about now, has made things much better for the French.
Huh. Okay. I don't know that I like John Law.
Yeah, a lot of English-hating Irishmen and Scots ended up serving in the French court.
Huh. Okay. All right. Then you nothing happens to
Initiative is
initiative because
it's at 15, which is where it started, right? So it's still French initiative.
Precisely.
Okay.
so who do you want to go first this turn?
This turn, my goodness. Well, I think this turn I would like to go.
Oh, and I need to look at my cards and go down to 3.
Actually, also important is before you do anything else, make sure to flip over the victory point markers for each of the regions, and for demand, you should take all 6 demand tiles, shuffle them, and choose 3.
Oh, great. So we're gonna see what the market wants.
Right.
So I believe all of them have changed. Did I change India? I did not. Okay, but it doesn't matter. And then we're gonna shuffle these up. Okay, we're going to reveal that the things in demand this turn are cotton, tobacco, and furs again. I did not do a very good job shuffling, or I did a great job shuffling. One of those two things is true.
Okay, I have chosen my 3 cards to keep, and I am discarding my other 2 cards.
Bueno.
Oops. Okay. All right, who did you decide should go first, sir?
I think I might as well go first this time.
Okay.
And I think I'll go ahead and grab some coins here. This is a 4 finance and a 2 diplomacy tile. No events on it, but I think I really need to get back into the markets if I'm gonna keep you from running away with everything. So to do that, I'll spend some of those trade points to, let's move in to, I apologize to everyone who speaks French, Ile en Noir, or any Canadians, I'm sorry. So that's going to cost 3 whole points to do. So it leaves me with 1.
Thinking about that debt, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. I'm thinking about the debt. It's very tempting. I mean, what's the worst that could happen, really? What could possibly go wrong here?
I mean, somebody could lose their head.
That's true. But fortunately, I am the state, so it's not going to be me.
Off with his head.
Let's go ahead and we'll spend I could spend treaty points though. And that won't affect my debt. I'll spend a treaty point. And that'll give me the 2 I need to put something somewhere. Oh no, it won't though. Unless I go into Antigua, or we'll go ahead and take on a little more debt. So that's going to cost me 3 altogether, along with my treaty point, to get some tobacco here. And then that gives me 2 diplomacy points left to spend. And shucks, I think I'll just become a little more friendly with the Austrians.
Jason, for my East India Company, it says during the scoring phase, score 1 victory point for each of the following unexhausted advantages you control, maximum 3. Should I have gotten anything because of that?
Okay, don't you have a furs advantage or something?
I had a tobacco advantage,
Okay,
which
so if
doesn't help.
if you did not use the tobacco advantage last turn, you should score a victory. You should score a victory point for it.
It says textile, silk, fur, fruit, and rum.
I lied then. Don't score it because tobacco isn't on the list.
So I should have really focused more on fur.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, you did okay anyway. You got 3 victory points out of the deal, so that's a lot.
We're still tied.
Okay.
It's anybody's game. And that's
But
the end of
the
my
only
turn
thing
also.
was fur was up for grabs as it turned out because you guys killed each other's markers.
Right. Okay. And this time the markers are what?
Essentially the same, right?
No, there's 1 in India, 1 in Europe, 3, and with a little 2 next to it. And then where's the US marker?
0.
Oh, so in order to score the 3 victory points, you have to win by at least 2.
2. Okay. All righty then. It's my turn.
It is your turn.
It is my turn. I am going to, how much does it cost me to get him out of a space? Can I get him out of a space in Europe?
Sure. I mean, you can get him out. Unlike everything else, there are no forts to protect you, and there are no, there are no other modifiers. So getting somebody out is 2, and then to try and put yourself in is 4.
Okay. And it's military, or is it
Diplomacy.
diplomacy?
So those are in kind of short supply.
Right. So I'm going to take this diplomacy action. This one, oops. This one right here, I'm taking this. And I am going to use 2 of that to get him out of Ireland. Go away.
Oh no.
And then I'm going to use 2 of my treaty points with the other 2 of my diplomacy to put myself in Ireland.
Oh.
So now I'm in Ireland. And
God save the
then,
king.
huh?
God save the king.
Yep. And then I have 2 of the
2 economic points.
economic things, which
So
I believe.
grab a fur market if you can.
Huh?
Grab some furs if you can.
Yeah, so I'm going to go over there and grab Cumberland fur. No, I'm gonna grab 2. I am going to grab, I'm going to use one more treaty point, and then I'm going to grab Albany fur.
The treaty point. Oh, okay.
Yes, I used a treaty point
With
because
your-
I had lots of those.
with
For
your money.
free debt.
Yes.
Oof,
And that was my turn.
that was speedy.
I know, I'm all speedy. Speedy.
Okay. So it looks like I have a decision to make here, and lots of pineapples to grab, lots of grenades to grab, not quite as many coins or quills. So why don't we go ahead and grab a bunch of market control again. And we're gonna spend that.
So Kathleen, don't forget you control those pirate markers that you may use on your turn.
To put conflict somewhere where it says in unprotected markets. So I can put them,
You can put them on French counters that are not adjacent to forts and fleets.
but no, because they actually say in an unprotected market though.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Unprotected means not next to a fort or fleet.
Oh, so I could put it on a French market, say in the Caribbean.
Yes.
Yes, as long as it's not next to a fort or a fleet.
Cool. Okay.
So I think what I'll do then is I'll spend 2 to go to the Bahamas, run west and get some tobacco. And shucks, I really don't want to take on more debt, but maybe I should.
Well, in for a penny, in for a pound.
Yeah, what's the worst that could happen? We're gonna go ahead and also grab the Bahamas, and I'm gonna scoot my debt up by 1. So getting a little closer to that debt limit. I think you moved my debt limit up 1 instead of yours.
Oh, I did. Yeah, that's bad.
Well, I mean, I'm
Okay.
fine with it, but
Uh-huh.
so shucks, that's not great. But now I've got all that stuff, and I've got these points to use down here on the bottom. These war points, which I could use to sail this ship I've built into Bahamas Run and protect them from your little conflict markers that you've got. So maybe I can play around that horrible piracy of yours.
That makes sense.
And then, gosh, that's one of my, that cost me 1 to do. So I still have one pineapple left. Well,
yeah, unfortunately,
don't
1
think
is
I should
not
do
very useful. 2, you can go, swap out counters or whatever, or add a bonus counter, but
for the low price of 1 more debt, I could swap something out, but I'm gonna, I think, cool it on my spending. And that's the end of my turn.
Okay.
I'm going to grab a Coke Zero, which is the preferred beverage of imperialists, and I'll be right back.
Okie dokie. So now you have to help me and tell me if what I'm doing is correct.
Sure.
Okay, so I am going to take this one right here.
You can't do that.
Why?
I'm just messing with you.
Oh, okay. I'm like, yes, I can. I'm going to take this one, which gives me 2 money and 2 whatever, diplomacy, and it gives me the ability to play a card,
I don't like that.
and it lets me swap out a thing in the war.
That's what I was afraid of.
And I am going to play a card, which is famine in Ireland. Oh no, it's the potato famine, which says unflag a French space in Ireland or Scotland, which I'm going to get you out of Scotland.
Oof.
Go away. The Scottish do not appreciate you, sir.
I think they appreciate
And-
even less right now.
It says grain shipments from the Americas I get to draw 1 bonus tile for each space I control in Ireland and add them to the Jacobite uprising theater in the next war. And look there, I have 2 things in Ireland. Imagine that. So I get to take 2 bonus tiles.
That's not great.
I did really good stuff while you were gone, and I get to add them
Maybe
right
that was
there.
the key. Maybe I just needed to leave.
So I took this token, Jason, the one that was economic and diplomacy,
Yes,
and
nicer
I
die.
played the famine in Ireland,
Excellent.
which got him out of Scotland and allowed me to put 2 bonus tokens in the Jacobite rebellion.
That is a good example of using events when the tiles are not available for your diplomatic actions.
Yeah, I liked that. So that helped me a lot with the Jacobite problem I had.
I forgot to get rid of my event.
Okay. And then I'm going to use my 2 money to
Wait, I apologize. Before we do anything else in Europe, there's something else we missed at the end of the European scoring.
oh no, what?
We should have counted up all of the green triangles and see who has more in Europe, and they get a bonus 2 victory points. That's what those prestige things are. I'm
Okay, so you
99%
have
sure
that
that
one.
that was France.
I think that was a safe bet.
I'm pretty sure it did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Well, because I also know, does this count as prestige the Biscay as well, or is it just the diamonds?
If it's green, it counts.
So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, I believe, and I had 2. So you get 2 victory points.
Right.
Which means
Ugh.
you would have had initiative.
I would have had initiative. Okay. So Jason is purposely making me lose this game. I'm just saying. Okay. All right. So I did that, but now I have 2 economic things that I'm going to use. And I am going to I am going to what am I going to do? I'm going to go over here and take some sugar cane for that. And then I have 2 diplomacy. So diplomacy, how do I get a fort? I have to have war stuff for a fort, right?
Yeah, military for forts.
Diplomacy. Who do I want to diplomacy? I think that I will take, oh, can I have another one of my little markers?
I don't know.
I'm gonna go into down here and I'm gonna do a diplomacy with Nizam for 2.
That's a
And
good idea.
that'll get me a cotton marker. I can put a conflict on a cotton marker at a next turn. And then I'm gonna use my pirates, I believe. Oh, I can't. Can I only put those in a unprotected market in the Caribbean, or can I use them to destabilize North America?
You can use them. They can be any unprotected market.
Anywhere. Okay,
You
so
can send pirates to India.
I might just send pirates to India.
And they did go there. So.
Huh? I'm gonna destabilize West Bengal with my pirates.
How rude.
That's not protected, right? Because he has, is that protected?
Nope. Not yet.
Nope.
Okay. And then I am going to destabilize some fur up here.
Oh, you get 2 of those.
Yeah. Because
Oh,
there's
you
one here.
used both of them?
I used both of them. So those go away.
Sure.
Okay. And that's what I did.
So now, as a reminder, to get rid of those things, it costs 2 military operations, or if it's a protected market, Obviously, it couldn't be because of the terms of that advantage token.
Right.
But if it was some other advantage token that let you put down conflict markers, if it was in a protected space, then you could remove it for 1 instead of 2.
Okay.
Okay, so
All
that
right.
is my turn.
Okay. So then I think we've got a serious piracy problem. We're gonna have
It's fine.
to maybe we're gonna have to grab this here and get some military and diplomacy going.
Oh, I forgot to change out my war tile, so I'm going to do that while
Sure.
you're.
So I have these 4 pineapple points or grenade points, military points, and I think I should use them.
So that 4, that's good for forts or building a fleet.
Yeah. There's so many great decision points in this game. I think I'll go ahead and put a fort here, there, and seize that, the Champlain Valley. So that's leaving me just the 2 diplomacy points.
What did you do?
I put a fort right there.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
To make it a little harder for you to snake up there and wreck my shop.
Huh.
Hopefully. And for the 2, where do I need an alliance badly? Or I could use it to get rid of your stuff too. You know what?
Stay
I
away
will
from my
take
stuff.
on a little debt to get into Scotland. 'Cause I'd like to be back in Scotland. And that's the end of my go. Makes it Kathleen's turn.
Yep. Okay. I am going to.
Legends DM, please, no.
What?
Legends DM wants
I'm
you to crush me.
trying. Thank you, Legends DM. Okay. I think I am going to. I am going to take this right here, which is a war thing. Okay, so I'm taking this one. I have a pineapple for 3 and diplomacy for 2, and I can play a card. So I am playing this card, military spending overruns. Bonus if you have more available debt than your opponent. Oh, look, I get a bonus.
Oh.
So your opponent must damage a fort, remove a squadron, or remove a bonus war tile from the next war. So you can choose to damage that fort that you just played, or remove that squadron that you played earlier.
Now, if I remove that squadron, does it go back to my Navy box, or is it removed?
It says remove it back to the Navy box.
What else do you have available on your turn right now?
I have 2 money and 2 diplomacy, and I get to replace another war tile.
Let's go ahead and we're just going to sail out of the Bahamas for right now.
Okay. Then my bonus is you get to do that again.
Oh. Well.
You shouldn't have spent so much on your military.
Maybe not.
That whole debt thing, bad.
Well, we'll just make ourselves a little bit more flexible, and we can sail somewhere else.
Okay.
Later on with those.
All right.
navies.
So that was that. And then now with my 2 money, I am going to what are these things up here? Let's see. So for winning cotton, it's 2 victory points. For that, it's 3 victory points, but I get a debt. Ooh, but if I let you win tobacco, you'd get a debt. And then for furs, it's 2 victory points and a thing. Okay, so I think I'm going to use this to go and get another fur. So I'm going to go here. Where? Oh, you got
To
into
Oswego.
the fort that I wanted. I want
Yeah.
that fort.
You could have damaged it, but I had 2 fleets to run away with.
You did. Okay, so I'm gonna go into Cumberland for the furs. Can you put me into
absolutely.
Cumberland? Okay, now I have 2 diplomacy. So for diplomacy, I am going to I think that for diplomacy, for 2 diplomacy, I'm going to go into make an alliance with Prussia
Okay. There's
up
Prussia
at the
here.
top.
Rude.
Okay, and then I get to replace another war tile with my war tile. So I'll do that while you can start going.
Oh no. Okay. Well, things are not looking great.
Shh, it's fine. Everything's fine.
So I've got 3 choices remaining. So then these next 2 are going to be the last of this peace turn. Well, I think I'm going to need to take the grenades. And we're going to have to put those fleets back to use. So where should we redeploy them? That's the question. You know what? Maybe instead of putting the fleets out, I should put a fort in. Oh, I can do both. I'll put a fort here in Louisburg for 3 of my grenades. And with the last one, I'll send this this fella sailing out from the Navy box. And he's going to go, I think he needs to go hang out in the Caribbean. Or no, he's going to go here to the Malabar coast. And now that he's in the Malabar coast, I could move in here, but I don't think that's in demand right now. So I'll use the 2 finance points I have to do something else.
I think Louisburg was a good play. It's probably, you probably waited a little too long, if anything, to put your fort down in Canada.
Yeah, I might be regretting that for the rest of the game, but we'll make do. You know what I could do? I'll use this fur market advantage tile that I've been holding on to, and maybe destabilize this this market here. So that'll make it cheaper to steer, right?
Right.
If I put that there.
Assuming it's not connected to a fort, which it isn't.
Doesn't look like it, except it's connected to my fort.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
Is it not long-term connected to these?
It doesn't
You
look
can't
like
chain it out. You only project force into one adjacent space
Oh, okay.
with a fort or a fleet.
Hmm. Okay.
Squadron, I should say.
If I take over his fort somehow, does it go away?
Yes, that's a fast way to winning, because if you knock out people's forts, then his tokens become isolated because they're not connected to anything, which means you can nab them quickly, and it's when land is taken out, it's very hard to get it back.
So then I guess the question is, what's the cost to get rid of this guy? Normally it's 2, right? To get this one out, but because I've put a conflict marker now, it's a little cheaper. It's only the 1.
It's 1, yeah, and 1 is the minimum.
Okay, so we'll pay minimum to get rid of that pesky British thing, and that leaves me with 1. Oh, now if I hit my debt limit, do bad things instantly happen, or is it only if I go over?
When you go over, you will lose a victory point every time you go over.
Okay.
But 2 victory points in this game is, noticeable. It's not.
Yeah. Well, I guess then there's nothing else I can really do for just 1 finance point. So maybe it would have been better to put that conflict over here and just spend the 2 outright. Yeah. If that's okay that I do a little rewind, I'm gonna just plop this down on these fish.
That is more efficient.
Yeah. And that's my turn.
Okay, so how much would it cost me to get his fort out of there and replace it with a fort for me?
That's not going to happen.
I can't do it in 1 turn?
Well, I mean, maybe. Which fort are you talking about? Louisburg?
The one that he just built in Canada.
How are you connected to his fort?
I'm not anymore because he took away my Albany, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so I can't do that. Okay. So I think that
What kind of tile are you getting? A military one?
I don't know. I have military or diplomacy. The diplomacy one has money on it, which is nice. The military one has diplomacy on it. I
Well,
think
you're
I'll
getting
get
it
the
too.
military one, huh?
Yeah, I mean, unless you're using treaty points, neither of them is going to be too powerful. So is
But I can
there
use
one thing
treaty
that
to
could tip the balance either in Europe or with one of the commodities, I guess is the question.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do this one. How many points are in the United States this turn? Where are they?
0
Oh, they are. Yeah.
in North America.
Okay, but North America, that's what I meant. But you have 3 things in the Caribbean. I don't like that at all. Okay, so I'm gonna do, what am I gonna do? I think I'll do, there's nothing else that I can do diplomacy in the Caribbean.
You could shore up the Iroquois. Or no, those are in North
Those are
America.
in North
In
America.
North America, yes, but not in the Caribbean, I don't think.
Yeah. I could, however, do some more stuff in India. Or in Europe. I think that I'm going to take
Remember also that when scoring happens, places with conflict markers don't count.
right.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, I'm gonna take, so you have how many? You don't have any fur.
I don't have any fur.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
Not typical of the French.
So I'm fine without him having any fur because I have 2 fur.
Right.
2 fur. I'm gonna take cotton away from him, I think. Well, I have 2 and he has 1. So he has cotton. I have cotton too. And then I don't know that there's any way I can get enough tobacco to make it. But he's going to win tobacco, which is going to put him at his debt limit, which is good. Okay.
That is good. It would be nice if you could win tobacco, though, because if you won all three, then you would get an instant win.
Really?
Mhm.
Yep.
Huh. Then we'd be done really early. Okay, what do I need to be, so if I took, but I can't use the minor thing to get rid of his stuff, can I?
That's right. It only places you can't remove. But in this case, it might be worth taking on a lot of debt to do it. I don't know what it's a little hard to see the board position from the camera view, but
Okay, so he has 3 tobacco and I have 1 tobacco.
yeah, so you have to, yeah. Is there an empty one you can fill?
There's 2 empty ones that I can fill.
Well, that would get you, so you really need to flip one and fill another, right?
Right.
How
So
many?
Is there any way that I can flip one?
From the look of it, no, I don't see where you're adjacent to one of his.
I'm adjacent here to there.
Oh, well, I lied. You've got the one in Florida you could get it.
Yeah, I have one. I'm in a territory in Florida. So
And
could I do that?
What's your debt and treaty point situation?
I have 3 treaty points and I'm on debt 2, but I have up to 7. So I have 5 debt and 3 treaty points.
Well, I think you can make this happen then.
Okay, tell me how.
You got to take you need the economic, the one with the.
Right, the influence and diplomacy and economic.
Right.
Okay.
So then you need to, oh wait, but the diplomacy one is only minor.
Oh, wait, I can do things. Wait, yes, but see, okay. No, my diplomacy is major and the economics minor, which is the problem, but there isn't a major economic. But with this one, I can play this card and I get the bonus. Unflag a market whose removal does not isolate any other markets.
Perfect.
Ha, sir. South Sea speculation is going to kill you in the Bahamas.
Okay.
So with this one, I can take this one away because it's not isolating anybody.
Right.
And that goes away. And then I can build 2. I can build 1 for 2. So I will come up here and build St. James over there for 2.
And then spend treaty points to build a second one somewhere.
Yep. I'm gonna spend 1, 2, 3 treaty points to build another one. Can I have another one?
Sure.
In Cuba Passage East.
This here?
Mm-hmm. And then thanks to my card, I don't have any pineapples, so I can't.
You don't get that bonus.
I can't get the bonus. Okay, but I can do some diplomacy somewhere.
Right. And swap out a military tile, but it doesn't look like we will get to the war phase because you're about to economically crush the French.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have 2 diplomacy and I could do switch out a war tile. Oh yeah, and I get to switch out a war tile. But okay, so I am going to get 1 debt, I guess, and go up there and go into the Dutch Republic. The Dutch will like me. And then that's it, I think, right?
That looks like it.
Okay. Boom, did I win?
Let's find out.
Okay.
Now we would go to the victory point phase. And
I think before we find out if Kathleen won,
Oh,
do
we
another
should.
giveaway.
We should do another giveaway. Let's give away a Twilight Struggle.
All right.
Okay.
Well, we have lots of giveaways, so we should. If you're going to auto win, we've timed it wrong.
Yeah, we sure did. Okay, so let's give
That'll be a,
away. Well, let's
bonanza.
definitely give away a. We'll do a Twilight Struggle right now.
Cool. You got it to show.
I do have it to show. Ta-da! Twilight Struggle. Jason, would you like to describe Twilight Struggle to our lovely audience?
Twilight Struggle is a 2-player card-driven game that spans the entirety of the Cold War from 1949 to 1989, with the 2 protagonists playing the United States and the Soviet Union. As you might expect, like Imperial Struggle, it covers the entire globe, and it's done pretty well.
It's pretty fantastic.
It's pretty awesome. Okay, so Yoni is going to put a question into the chat.
And this one is marked as easy.
Oh, this is,
This
easy
is
for
an
me.
easy question. So according to Jason Matthews, this is an easy question.
The Rock of Gibraltar was taken from what European power as spoils from the War of Spanish Succession?
Oh, we just did the War of Spanish Succession just a few minutes ago. Koriagi says England.
Nope.
That is not true. IT Omar Hernandez says Spain.
That one is correct.
That is
Ooh.
correct.
Ding, ding,
IT
ding.
Omar Hernandez, you get a lovely copy of Twilight Struggle.
And we'll be in
Yay.
touch.
That's exciting.
Yay.
Yeah.
And we'll be in touch. I think we have your contact information from yesterday too. So
Such a great game.
it is such a great game. Should we do one more giveaway? Should we give away one of your expansions?
Yeah, may as well do that.
I do not have a copy of the expansion to show you. Oh,
But
maybe
I
Jason can
do.
show you. Because I sold all of ours. And they're very hard to get right now, but apparently Jason has one at his house.
The Turn Zero expansion, if you already have Twilight Struggle and weren't crazy and bought the giant wooden box, this is part of the giveaway of that effort. So there you have it.
Okay, so if you are in our audience, you probably want to already own Twilight Struggle to go for this one.
SunnyJim91 says they already have the expansion and they really love it.
Oh, that's good. So if there's anybody out there that would like an expansion to go with your Twilight Struggle, we're going to do one more giveaway. We're just all about the giveaways right now.
That's true.
It will be really unfortunate if I don't actually win when we count things up. But okay,
This
so
one is marked as hard by Jason.
this one is described as hard by Jason. We're going to make you work for that expansion.
So France traded all of Canada for what Caribbean island?
All of Canada? I don't know that one.
I
mean,
Yeah,
I'm
after
sure.
the end of the 7 Years' War, just like in the peace phase of this game or the end of the war phase in this game, you have victory, you have conquest points that you can use to buy things, kind of the Price is Right phase of this. Well,
So, row
France
25,
gave away
48
all
is
of
That's incorrect.
Canada
correct.
so it could
Katie
keep.
is not correct. Sorry,
This
go
island.
ahead, Jason. Guadeloupe?
That is correct.
That
That's
is
it.
correct. Elise. Yes.
So Lisa will be getting in touch with you to.
We have that person's contact info.
so-
We have your contact information, so we'll get in touch with you tomorrow to figure out when Jason can bring us that expansion and make sure that we get it to you. Okay, so should we score things now? What is our
think-
first thing to score?
So the first thing that we do is the regional scoring, actually. So
Okay.
you go and we make sure that the French didn't manage a victory here, but I don't think that's how this played out.
I got 12 victory points in the past over regional scoring. We'll see.
Okay, let's see. So what, we do the United States first?
Yeah,
It's
North
not
America
worth
first.
any points.
Well, it's not worth any points this turn, so skip.
Okay, so then the Caribbean, and we count how many flags
Just
are
how
there,
many
right?
markers are in the Caribbean for each side. Everything counts unless there's a conflict marker on it.
8 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's 8 to 6.
8 for
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8 for the English.
8 for the English, and 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 for the French. So I get 3 victory points.
you surely do.
You chased my fleets away.
Get out of the Caribbean, France. Okay, then we go to Europe. Europe
Right.
is, let's see. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you have 1, that counts for Europe too, right?
Yes, that's part of
1,
Spain.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So France is still destroying me in Europe. So he gets 1.
I get 2 because of the Sun
Oh,
King.
that's right. the
2
Sun
because of the
King.
Sun King. And count up now the prestige squares in Europe because that's an additional 2. Whoever has the most green.
1, 2, 3. And you have 1, 2, 3.
Looks like nobody has the most.
So we're
Well,
tied.
look, you held them to a tie there. That's good. And now India.
And now India, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to 4.
Yeah,
So I get
that's
1 more
good.
victory point.
Nice.
Okay.
Very good.
And
So-
now the coup de grace, I believe, is going to be global demand scoring. So in the order of the demand table, we go down starting with
Furs.
furs.
Okay.
So France sadly has no furs, and it looks like England has 2 furs. I would have had 1 fur, but for that conflict.
So I get 2 victory points and 1 treaty point. Okay.
And then we're gonna go to tobacco next.
Tobacco.
So tobacco. Oh, my sad camera just died.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fussy.
Uh-oh.
Well,
Okay,
you'll have
so with tobacco, Rich has 1, 2, and I have 1, 2, 3. 3
Mm.
tobacco. So I win tobacco,
And you get a
which
debt.
gives me a debt, which I wanted to give to Rich just because I wanted him to go over his debt
Oh,
limit. But
As a question of order of operations, would the John Law finance card happen before commerce or after the commerce?
It happens at the end of the turn.
So I could still get posed on the.
Exactly.
okay, so yeah, so I won that, which gives me 3 victory points.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3. And I already took my debt. I moved up a debt. And then the sugar, it looks like Rich has 1 sugar and I have 2 sugars.
Just
You mean
barely.
Cotton. I meant cotton. Yes.
Oh,
So Rich has 1 cotton and I have
2 cotton and you have 3.
Oh.
1, 2 for
2.
France.
And then I have 3.
Or 1, 2.
Uh-oh, I missed a cotton. Oh no. I might not have won.
We just did all those giveaways.
We did just do all those
Just-
giveaways.
Oh no, I missed a cotton.
wait, you're tied in cotton?
Yeah, we're tied in cotton.
Mm.
Well, you actually had the points to do this the correct way.
We can say that I think that the British did pull this out because you could have.
Because I could have paid the debt.
Yeah, It would have still been doable for you.
Yeah, because I could have paid
is there
2
another
debt.
cotton place you can take?
Yes, right next to me.
Mhm.
All right, well, just spend more debt and
Okay.
Right.
1, 2, and I get to take that cotton.
That really,
Rich, why are you being so nice to her?
He's being very nice.
I think.
Okay.
What happened to team staff?
Yes. Okay, so then, yeah, so I have 3 cotton and Rich has 2 cotton. I forgot about your cotton down
That's
here.
true.
Yeah. Oh, that stinky cotton. So I also win cotton, which gets me 2 more victory points and another treaty point, but
So-
I won all 3 global demand things, so I win.
France was able to win some wars, but lost the peace.
there
Yeah.
you have it.
I would love to see what we do on war because I worked really hard on my war stuff.
Well, there's still another peace turn to go had I not instantly
Oh,
lost.
that's true.
But that was fascinating, and I'm eager to play it again.
And
As
it
you can see,
didn't
it's
take
not
all night
actually
long,
that
so I win.
complex.
So
It's-
that means we are tied.
We are tied for the staff board game, Kathleen versus staff board game battle. What do you think should be the tiebreaker?
Hmm.
Anybody have a tiebreaker idea?
Do we know?
I think they should play a round of breakdancing meeples right now.
Oh God, no.
No,
Oh God, no.
but using the chits from Imperial Struggle.
I said tune in Thursday.
Huh, I don't know, maybe. Although Yoni can't work Thursday night, so we may not have a tech person. It might have to be the following
No, we're doing
Thursday.
it this Thursday. Y'all said you were gonna do it.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. Okay, well, I'm turning off my close-up cam.
Sunny Jim 91 says fugitive.
Oh,
Oh, I'm pretty good at fugitive.
and I'm not very good at fugitive.
Oh, a quick game of Dr. Eureka, says Daryl.
I'm pretty good at Dr.
I like the
Eureka
tune in
too.
Thursday option, personally.
I think that the person who owned the store for 10 years should win the tie.
It is her birthday.
That's not how that works. All right,
I think
anyway.
Jason should choose.
Choose. What
Oh,
kind of
Jason
terrible,
doesn't
terrible system is that?
Well, y'all have one more expansion to give away, right? Do that.
yeah, we should give away the last expansion. What do you think?
Do
Yeah,
we
let's.
have the
We
data?
can give away. Yeah, do
You
the
want to
trivia
give away
questions.
the game and the expansion together?
I've got a. Yeah, let's do that. We'll do a game. Give a Twilight Struggle and an expansion together.
Okay, we'll give it both away.
What was that?
Do we have
But now it has to be the other hard question, I think.
over the course of the evening, like Team Staff or Team Kathleen?
No,
Ugh.
we didn't keep that data.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to give away a copy of Twilight Struggle and with the expansion.
All right. Well, I
Um,
think this one needs another hard question. Then.
I think it definitely needs a hard question. Okay, so if you do not have Twilight Struggle or the expansion and would like them, please try and win this giveaway. And Yoni's gonna put the question in the chat in
Another
just a
game of
second.
Imperial Struggle, says Anna.
Yeah,
Louise. I think
woo.
that would be I think we should just switch sides
Oh.
and try again.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
Going
Just
in the chat.
okay.
In the nearly 100 years covered in this game, England had 2 monarchs. Name both of them.
Ooh, the monarchs during this 100-year period. Do you
This-
know?
I do know.
Do you?
One of them's really easy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, if you know stuff about American history, one of them should be pretty easy to get.
right.
If you've seen Hamilton.
If you've seen Hamilton, that's true.
Yes, that's right. One sings in Hamilton, the other one not so much.
I think we should play Hamilton, the music, the next time we play this.
Oh, y'all should have a rap battle to decide
Oh God,
the final
no,
winner.
no, that would be way, way, way not fair to Team Kathleen.
I think it would just be unfair to Twitch in general.
Anybody, are your Google food skills up to par?
Yeah, we won't tell if you Google. Now it can be like the fastest finger challenge.
Who games
So-
that is Google Fooing?
Okay. Jason, in the meantime, while they're trying, George the Fifth and Edward the Eighth?
Incorrect.
Not
Incorrect.
even close.
Oh man, Corey Aggie, Jason's like, So in the meantime, while they're Googling who was in charge of England at this point, what are you working on next?
I have so many projects going right this moment. It's kind of crazy. The most immediate thing is that the Twilight Struggle app is going to be relaunched, and they're adding new cool graphics, but they're also, I designed a new starting scenario for Twilight Struggle for that. So that is about to start undergoing playtesting. Already in playtesting is a very short version of Twilight Struggle called Twilight Struggle Red Sea. It's like an introductory version to Twilight Struggle. You can play it in about 35 to 40 minutes. So for people who are interested in learning the game, or if you've got a spouse who you're trying to intrigue, it's a way to introduce people to the system without making them commit to the whole thing. And the other thing that I'm working on with Kevin at Fort Circle Games, who's also a local DC guy, is I have a card-driven game on the treason trial of Aaron Burr, speaking of Hamilton. So I'm working on playtest components for that all this weekend, and I've done some initial playtesting with some crappy playtest components I made myself, but I'm ready to start in earnest.
I know that when you playtest that here at, I think it was last year's Celebration of Gaming, people really enjoyed it.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, it went reasonably well. It was a playtest, so I'm still learning things about the game and making refinements, but I was lucky to have Twilight Struggle fan who's a real graphic artist help make some templates for me. So I'm using those to create, kind of actual commercial quality cards for the game. That's
cool. And then it looks like Kevin was also working on something about women's suffrage, which looked really interesting.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Having any input on that at all, or no?
I'm not. Other than the fact that some of the system is borrowed from 1960, unsurprisingly, because it's an electoral kind of game. But he's also got a game that I'm a developer on that will be sort of a Euro game that's the history of the Supreme Court and its major decisions. So
that'll be cool.
Yeah, it's a really cool design. I'm excited to see it in print.
That is very neat. I'm excited for both the women's suffrage game and that. That sounds really cool.
Yeah, I mean, for our local audience in DC, I think all these things are good.
Yeah. I don't know how well they sell in the rest of the country, but we do very well with them.
Exactly.
Yeah. So did we still not get a right answer? Still no right answer.
Some of these monarchs are a couple centuries late.
Yeah, just for anybody who hasn't played the game and doesn't quite know what we're talking about, the game starts in the 1690s and ends in the French Revolution, which is 1789.
Okay. Both monarchs have been mentioned already, just not in the same answer.
Oh yeah, it is true that both of the names have shown up, but not in the same answer.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
I wonder the people who are not having, like, did these people not watch Hamilton?
Yeah, one of them is the king during the American Revolution, so that
Yeah.
should be the gimme.
Yeah. The other one is a little bit more obscure to us.
You're right.
So that's exciting.
And they're on the side of the box of Imperial Struggle.
Oh, are they?
They are indeed.
The
So
side
if you,
of the box.
yeah, I can't show that to you yet, but it's right here. I'm looking at it. So there's one of them, and then there's the other. So it's got two I think the box is laid out really beautifully. Like all the components and everything in this game are just really pretty and fun and evocative. And I think I got so lost in them that I let England slip away.
The thing about the game is it is a little bit of a sandbox, and so until you played a couple of times, it's hard to know where or what you should emphasize. The victory points are a little bit of a clue, but you have to play the game not just tactically, but in a long-term way as well.
Right.
So, you know, you don't want to be caught flat-footed when new commodities show up and you don't have anything in them or whatever.
And this is pretty characteristic of how my play in Twilight Struggle goes as well, where I will, you know, just ignore the DEF CON level and completely overextend myself and then realize, oh, wait, we're not scoring the Middle East at all this turn.
Yeah. Yeah, I was listening to some podcaster complain that he managed to, in his first 3 games of Twilight Struggle, he managed to lose on a DEF CON trap with the CIA 3 times consecutively. And he was like so embarrassed because you would think maybe after the second time you'd realize, oh, CIA is a problem card. I can't just.
I find it very problematic that our audience can't Google this.
Yeah, it's on Wikipedia.
I'm a little concerned. I don't know whether they're just trying to be so fair and do this without Googling it, or the CIA created card is the bane of my existence as someone who usually plays Russia or USSR, says Sunny Jim. So Sunny Jim, it looks like you're not going for these because you already have them. Do you have any questions for Jason and anything he's working on or any of the past stuff? Let's see. I haven't talked to you in a long time. Why did you get into game designing?
Well, to tell you the truth, I never really, I'm not one of those guys who plays somebody else's game and like starts fiddling with it. I'm the opposite. I tend to be like, oh, well, they wrote that rule on purpose, so even if I think it's stupid, that must be what they intend. But the way we even began this is Anand and I were in a games group in DC together, and he had gotten involved in GMT sort of like on their board, message boards, when message boards were kind of a thing. And he started playtesting, and I was his playtest opponent. And I won't say which games, but he brought a couple of games back, and I was underwhelmed. And so we thought, well, you know what, we could do this better ourselves. And so that's kind of how it began. The other thing is we were both, there was kind of a lifestyle thing that we were concerned about. We really liked We the People, which is an old Mark Herman, the first card.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. And one of the reasons we liked it is it was short. You know, it was very adapted to family life and work life. So you could play a full game in an evening and feel like you had a good experience and then be done. And the designs that we were seeing were getting longer and longer and longer. And so we were like, well, we want to take this in the other direction. So that was
wait, we just got rated. So there's a bunch of people joining us. Hey, everybody that just rated us, maybe you can do better than our current audience.
Oh, thank you so much for the follows, Lutza.
Did Jason give me the right answer?
And the Sandman.
Jason, did you give us the right answer? We're wondering. It's what's on the box has not been given to anyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So anyway,
'Cause I was
welcome,
having
Ray
trouble
people.
Googling it. I was just
Oh, apparently Yoni was having a hard time Googling it. So maybe it is less Googleable than we originally thought. But for those of you, we just got rated by, I believe, a bunch of Europeans, so they might know the answer.
Yeah.
Although I'm not sure how I would send your game. We are currently trying to give away a copy of Twilight Struggle with the expansion signed, and we're trying to give it away. And nobody has come up with the right answer. We did a hard question. We have actually already finished Imperial Struggle. Team Kathleen won with an overwhelming global demand mercantilism, as is my want. And we are looking for the 2 leaders of England during the time period that Imperial Struggle covers. Do you want to give them the time period again? We'll give them a hint.
From 1690, right before the Spanish or the War of Spanish Succession, until 1789, the French Revolution.
Yeah, the box says 1697 to 1789.
So we have a lot of,
Sonny Jim says, weren't there 4 monarchs during that period? To narrow it down, would we want to say 1702? Is that too much?
Yeah.
So start with 1702 and work your way out.
Thatcher and Eisenhower.
come on, y'all can do it, I know. Wow, if the Europeans can't get it, I don't know.
I mean, we could go to the medium question.
The monarchs on the box are, there you go, but the box says she died 48 years before George III ascended. So row 2538 says George III and Anne Stewart, which is what we think is the correct answer, right?
Right.
Yes.
Oh, that's not what he sent me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's not what it said in the answer he sent me.
Oh, so it should be, yeah, George III and Anne Stewart.
Oh, did we have that answer?
I don't
earlier?
think
Now I have to go
so.
look.
Okay, we're gonna double check and make sure nobody said that beforehand, but I believe as of right now, row 2538 got it. So how did that work? Do you know, Jason, if the box says that Anne Stewart died before George III?
Yeah, seated in 1760, and she dies in 1714.
So who was in power during that time? Do you know?
Do you mean who was, I put, who was in power in which time?
Wait, what was the original question?
In the nearly 100 years covered in this game, England had 2 monarchs, named both of them.
Say it again. I couldn't hear
In
you.
the nearly 100 years covered in this game, England had 2 monarchs, name both of them.
Yeah, in the nearly 100 years covered by this game, England had 2 monarchs, name both of them.
And I put Jane, I forgot about Anne Stewart because I've got James II.
So James II and
Huh.
James II and George III, right?
Right, but Anne Stewart is in between them.
Oh. So this question was basically invalid.
Okay, well, invalid question.
We could do a backup question. After torturing the stream.
After torturing the chat.
After torturing the poor stream. Okay. I don't know. What do y'all want to do? Because somebody did find out what was on the box. So many people are answering things. George II is in there somewhere. Okay, I think we should have a different question.
Oops.
We're gonna make that an invalid one. I'm very sorry. But yeah, we're gonna blame Jason Matthews.
You should. It is my
Contact
fault.
Jason Matthews. And
We're
with
gonna do
all
one that
complaints.
Jason marked as medium difficulty.
Okay, we're gonna do a medium difficulty one, maybe not a hard one. And this is for a copy of Twilight Struggle with an expansion.
And it's going to get posted into the chat, so you should hopefully be able to read it even before you hear us say the question. So here's the replacement question. What was the name given to the French colony in Canada?
Quebec? Nope.
Not Quebec.
New France?
That's
New
it.
France is
New
correct.
France is correct.
Coup Games Matt gets it after he worked so hard to try and get the last one. New France is the correct answer. Yay. Okay. So we do have Coup Games Matt's contact information too. So we will make sure that we get in touch with him. Matt, I have to wait until Jason brings me the stuff, so I will let you know what happens. But thank you all very much for all of you that rated us. I will show off a little bit of what our board looked like because y'all missed it. We had a great time playing. I think a lot of stuff was going on and Rich just didn't pay close enough attention to the global demand for the mercantile type stuff.
It's true. That's
Um,
typical.
And in Rich's defense, I had to alert you to the possibility.
Right. No, and you definitely did. And completely in Rich's defense, Jason helped me a lot. France was really dominating in Europe though. So that could have been bad for me going forward. But
The next war turn would have been bad for sure.
yeah, although I think I did pretty well at putting some good tiles out there.
Well, that's good at least, yeah.
Yeah, and I pretty much controlled India pretty well and the Caribbean.
Yeah.
I was a little bit worried about North America. I was going to focus on North America a lot in the next round was kind of my plan. But yeah, this is a fantastic game. We really, really enjoyed it. It ended much quicker than we thought it would because I took the immediate win with cotton and furs and tobacco. Tobacco, man, is powerful.
And to this game's credit, even though I ended up losing so swiftly, I never felt like I was out of contention for a minute. Like even when things were very bad, it still was. There was always the possibility of doing something to bounce back.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. But anyway, thank you so much, Jason, for being with us. Huh?
We still have to do the giveaway of Imperial Struggle.
Oh yeah, we have to do the giveaway of Imperial Struggle. Let's see who said Team Kathleen.
Yeah.
And is this the regular game with expansion? I believe this is actually Imperial Struggle. This is not Twilight Struggle. There, as far as I know, there is not a expansion for Imperial Struggle yet.
No.
Although Ananda does write something in the rules about Napoleon, which has some people.
Yeah, I think both of our intention is to handle the Napoleonic Wars probably as, I don't know whether it'll be an expansion or some kind of standalone. It requires some rejiggering just because Europe becomes so important in the Napoleonic Wars. And after the French lose the Battle of Trafalgar, they can't really compete on a colonial basis in the same way.
I think too, earlier, Sonny Jim asked, when I had asked him if he had a question for you, he asked, of you, all of your games, which one is your favorite?
It's kind of, it really is a little bit of a mood thing, but the one that I probably have gotten to the table most often is 1960 because I can do it in less than 2 hours and it's not quite so intense where if I feel like I make a mistake, then I've thrown the game. But I've been playing more Founding Fathers lately just because it's the only real multiplayer thing that I designed.
1960 is great. It's required that you imitate the candidates when you play, though, I feel. It's not the same if you don't do the voices.
That's right.
I played Watergate recently and I was Nixon and I did the voice the whole time. It was really fun.
That is a great design also. I really like that game.
Yeah, I really, really like that one. And I learned a lot playing that game. That was one of the games that we've used in game schooling with David, because I learned a ton. I mean, I knew the basics. He didn't know very much about any of it, and it was really fantastic. But I love using historical games for that, to learn things. I learned in this game a lot, and I'm really glad that I was the pirates.
I mean, you.
Okay, so we know who won. You have randomly selected Corey Aggie. Are you still in the chat, Corey Aggie? Let's see if Corey Aggie. Yay! Corey Aggie's still there. You have won a beautiful copy of Imperial Struggle, and perhaps. I doubt seriously Jason will be on call to walk you through the game like us, but if you ever have any questions, let us know.
Yeah, I feel much more confident in understanding how this game works now.
Yeah, I'm dying to play again.
I am very eager to play more.
Rich and I are gonna have to play again.
As you can see, it's not that hard. You just need to get over some of the fiddliness.
It's a lot up front, but once you get into the flow of the turns, it really does narrow your decisions.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. Thank you very much, Jason, for being with us today. I appreciate it. I will, yep, and we'll say goodbye to the stream now. And thanks everybody for watching us. A last minute question.
Sonny Jim is asking if you're looking for playtesters for US versus Burger.
I definitely will be looking for playtesters. There's already a page on Board Game Geek. So if you follow the game there, I will post ultimately when I put out the call for playtesters on the page on the Geek. So that's a good place to go. Also, most importantly,
go to Board Game Geek.
Congratulations, Kathleen, on your 10th anniversary. I'm so glad that we have such an excellent game store in DC, and I appreciate all of the help and friendship you've provided over the years.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I've really, really enjoyed becoming your friend, and I really appreciate everything you've done with us and for us. And it's always really fun to hang out with you. And I can't wait until this whole stupid pandemic thing is over and we can get together and play a game again together. I miss playing games with you, and I hope to see you soon.
Same.
But we'll talk later on. And thanks so much for everybody who has stuck with us this entire week. We are going to try and continue to do streaming sometime. I am not going to do it every single day. I'm exhausted. But we may try and do Thursdays, and we will post on our Facebook page and on Twitter and various things when we have things set up and know what we're doing. This is also the last day for our celebration of gaming. So we do still have some great deals on our web store, including Imperial Struggle and Twilight Struggle and Founding Fathers. Today's wacky deal of the day was absolutely crazy, but I wanted to do something that really brought home the importance that I feel our local community has. And we did local game designers and local publishing companies, all of them, all of the games that we have that were produced by either Jason or Elizabeth Hargrave or any of the other local designers, the many local designers that are in the DC area, as well as the publishing companies, North Star Games, Evil Hat, Think Fun, all of the publishing companies that are within the DMV. All of their games are at least 10% off, and it's only today. I will never, ever, ever put any of these games on sale ever again, because some of these games are some of our very best sellers. So you can go to our website. We also have kind of a general, the whole week we've had some games on clearance, and we did a bonus clearance yesterday that's good for just today and tomorrow. So you have until yesterday and today. And you have until midnight tonight to take advantage of those.
That's
And like I
Eastern time.
said, Eastern Standard Time in the United States. And I'm not sure that we can ship to Europe, at least not super easily. Sorry, everybody. But yeah, thank you so much for being here, Jason, and thanks to all of you. And have a great time. Thank you. Bye.
Bye, guys.